Chapter 76. An entire powerful hermit guild surrounded and beat up one person, and required several times of all attribute blessings. They made it clear that they were taking advantage of Lin Xiao, and Lin Xiao agreed without hesitation. The people who were eating melons were all dumbfounded. They had to consider even a 10% attribute gap for a long time when competing with others, and they would never consider it in a one-on-one fight. Therefore, they really could not understand Lin Xiao's generosity. Jian Rumen and Sister Hong showed sinister smiles together. As expected of Jian Yu, he's really good at it. But you'd better be mentally prepared. This time, you're really going to fall over. You can understand the ultimate meaning of the Andre Medal of Merit later. Lin Xiao's lips curled up with disdain. The so-called ultimate secret of the Medal of Andre is naturally mysterious and scary to other players. In fact, it is indeed the case. However, in Lin Xiao's eyes, it is not worth mentioning at all. Because, in the previous life, before the destruction of Prince Andre, he had been a little popular for a while, and the ultimate secret of the Andre Order of Merit had also become famous for a while. So Lin Xiao is very clear about what the so-called ultimate secret is. That is, after holders of merit medals unlock the ultimate secret, a ghost barrier with a radius of 50 meters will be formed around them. The barrier can lock the souls of all guild members, forcing them to retain 10% of their health. No matter how powerful the opponent's attack is, they will never die within 5 seconds. Moreover, they are immune to all controls. At the same time, all enemies locked in the barrier will be trapped in the barrier and cannot escape no matter what. In 5 seconds, they will be attacked by so many people. It would be okay if they don't have various blessings, but now that each of them has received several blessings, even Lin Xiao will definitely not be able to bear it. However, Lin Xiao still accepted this unfair challenge. Outside the hall, Wanli Changjiun had already set up a formation with all the elites of the Invincible Guild. Under the gaze of everyone, Lin Xiao swaggered into the formation of the Invincible Guild. Wanli Changjiun stared at Lin Xiao, took a deep breath, lowered his voice and said, "Jian Yu, I have a proposal." Lin Xiao sneered, "Tell me about it." Wanli Changjiun said, "Although I can definitely beat you by opening the ultimate secret, I don't want to make everyone unhappy. So, as long as you act with me in a play and lose to me once, let me go back and compete with Prince Andre. Come on, how about I donate 10% of my wealth to you and cooperate with you on the eternal journey?" Afraid that Lin Xiao would refuse, Wanli Changjiun reminded him in particular, "Listen, I'm talking about cooperation, not my subordinates like the two of them. You can go and ask around. I, Zhao Hongli, have always been a cannibal. If you don't spit out bones, anyone I like can only kneel down and be a dog to me. You are the first person I am willing to be on an equal footing with you. You should be satisfied. As for the details of cooperation, we can discuss it offline. Talk, how about it?" Lin Xiao sneered and said, "That's really nice to say, but I hate it when others treat me as a fool." Wanli Changjiun said, "What do you mean?" Lin Xiao said, "You don't dare to open the ultimate secret, not because you don't want everyone to be unhappy, but after opening the ultimate secret once, the medal will be in a sealed state for half a month. Not only can you not use the medal's attribute blessings, but if you do no matter how many tasks you do, you will not be able to accumulate merit points. Prince Andre must have adopted more than one guild like yours. If your merit points stagnate, Prince Andre will think that you are not as good as other guilds under his control. At that time, you will probably be expelled. Treat him like a useless loser and kick him out of the house, right?" Wanli Changjiun's expression suddenly changed. "You, how do you know?" Immediately, he realized something else, "So, you know the function of the ultimate secret very well. Since you understand it, you should know very well that there is absolutely no possibility of you winning, so why do you need to make trouble with me and let us cooperate together? Isn't it bad to have a meteoric rise? Ahem, I know that Ahong is very unhappy with you, but as long as you are willing to cooperate with me, I can let her apologize to you. By the way, her skills are so good that you can't imagine. If you want to experience it, the refreshing feeling of being sucked dry by a woman, I suggest you really try it." Lin Xiao raised the corner of his mouth, "You are wrong again. Since I dare to come, I will never lose. I am not interested in your proposal. I am here only for one thing, to scare the monkeys." Although Lin Xiao doesn't mind killing people, he doesn't want to be disturbed all the time, especially by hidden bosses like Wanli Changjiun. If people like them come to disturb Lin Xiao like flies every day, Then Lin Xiao will also he found it annoying, so he wanted to scare the monkeys and warn the big guys who haven't shown up yet not to be mean. Wan Li Changjian completely went berserk, damn it, a dog rides on a sedan chair and doesn't know how to behave. I've never been so condescending to anyone. Since you insist on being shameless, I'll just break up with you. Even if you are destroyed, you must die for me today. The two sides completely collapsed, and Wan Li Changjian immediately made up his mind and opened the ultimate secret of the Andre medal. I saw that a ghost barrier composed of a circle of dark black and dark red lines was quickly constructed in the field, and all the members of the Invincible Guild were covered with a layer of scarlet aura. By checking the attributes, all the people who eat melons understand that their souls have been locked by the barrier. Even if Lin Xiao's attack becomes more abnormal, they can still lock the last 10% of their health and they will never die. No. Did you make a mistake? Use full health to activate your ultimate move. There is no way, Jian Yu's damage is too abnormal. Even with various blessings, there is no guarantee that he will not be killed. Wan Li Changjian is indeed an old fox. He is really impeccable in his work and leaves no chance to Jian Yu. Even Jian Yu cannot survive the 5-second siege. If he really wants to win against Jian Yu, he still has to fight. Only perverted props are allowed. Lin Xiao smiled coldly and immediately activated the Great Destruction. However, as Wan Li Changjian said before, even if the Great Destruction could be immune to all controls, Lin Xiao would never be able to withstand it for 5 seconds. But Lin Xiao just wants to say that they have underestimated one thing, that is, although they can survive for 5 seconds and are immune to all controls, it does not mean that they really have a chance to launch a 5-second attack on Lin Xiao. The Holy Light is coming. The Pentakill Ring and the Holy Dragon Skin all have attack speed bonuses, and Lin Xiao's shooting speed is unmatched by any of them. The Holy Light instantly blinded everyone. Except for the wild player with the thickest health defense, everyone's health is locked at 10%. This also proves how wise it is for Zhao Hongli to use his ultimate move with full health. Zhao Hongli and others who were frozen in the ice all showed regretful and horrified expressions. They finally realized that they had been careless after all. How could they fight now that they couldn't even see Lin Xiao's figure? Thank you, more than 10 years, 23701449, 11518899, for the gifts, big guys. There will be an update in the evening, but I am not sure what time it is, because I have to go out to meet friends now, so I will definitely update before 12 o'clock. Thank you for your support, thank you. Chapter 77. Let's use your skills. Don't just stand there stupidly. If Jian Yu doesn't lose blood later, I'll release your blood first. Zhao Hongli roared loudly. Now he had no good solution. The only way was to try his luck. If a blind cat encounters a dead mouse, it will scrape a little blood if it can be scraped. However, who is Lin Xiao, how can he make him happy? Lin Xiao has the divine eye of the void. Others cannot see him, but he can see others. At this time, Lin Xiao seemed to be playing with a group of blind people. He retreated to an uninhabited corner and waved his sword to stir up a wall of wind. Fearless Wind Wall. Lin Xiao stood behind the wind wall, smiling as he watched the skills flying across the field. Soon, the coming of the Holy Light ended. Although it only lasted 2 seconds, you must know that the ultimate secret of the Andre Medal of Merit only lasted 5 seconds. The white light disappeared, and everyone could see clearly that Lin Xiao was hiding behind the wind wall, looking at them as if he was looking at a group of imbecile retarded people. The physical skills could not pass through the wind wall. Yi Jiangguomeng and others were so worried that they all flashed behind the wind wall and launched the strongest combo attack on Lin Xiao. However, Lin Xiao was already prepared. Blade Assault! Blade Assault! Blade Assault! Lin Xiao's figure was unpredictable, shuttling back and forth between the wind walls. If the person on the left throws a skill, he will rush to the right, if the person on the right throws a skill, he will rush to the left. Lin Xiao's speed was so fast that they couldn't catch him at all. Even if some people had the skills to lock on the attack, they were all confiscated by the wind wall. Some professions such as swordsmen and assassins also had the skills to lock on the attack, but it was still useless. Because, after Lin Xiao's body passed through the wind wall, those of them who were chasing after him all directly hit the wind wall. Zhao Hongli was furious and frightened, but Lin Xiao was moving forward with joy like the wind. As long as I move fast enough, your skills will never catch up with me. 3, 2, 1. Zhao Hongli closed his eyes in despair. The wind wall disappeared, and the ultimate secret state on them also disappeared. At this time, they all only had 10% blood volume left. Everyone knew what this blood volume meant. Yi Shuiyan. Lin Xiao swept across with his sword, and the terrifying frost solidified instantly. Bang! 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 Lin Xiao killed people, but he had the attribute of being punished by nature. More than 90 players from the Invincible Guild had their equipment completely blown away. The men were left with only their underpants, while the women were left with only a sexy suit. White bikini. Lin Xiao picked up all the equipment on the ground with one click, including the Andre Medal of Merit that gave Zhao Hongli unlimited confidence. Perverted props? Forget it, in front of Lin Xiao, don't mention the word perverted. Because of his death, all the merit points stored in this merit medal were cleared, and Zhao Hongli's heart was bleeding. Yu Jiangyumen and Sister Hong, both of them almost fainted because of fear. They tried their best to encourage Zhao Hongli and Lin Xiao to start a war. Now that it has happened like this, both of them know very well what consequences they will suffer. Master Hermit? That's it. Pretend to be the best and get the hardest beating. I, Vental, the Thunder Runner, will accept the defeat. Master Jian Yu really gave them a chance this time. Even my top sprayer in Ziyuan, who sprayed 9 times in 1 second, couldn't find a place to spray. I'm so angry. Even the ultimate secret cannot defeat Jian Yu. It seems that I can only defeat him by taking 3,000 rings from you. 3,000 rings to take away your life? What the hell? It means that the opponent is forced to be stunned for 3,000 seconds. Any control release skills are ineffective. If the opponent is not killed after 3,000 seconds, the opponent will automatically explode. How about it? Do you want to catch it or not? You are kidding me, there is no such ring. I just dreamed of it, thank you. Zhao Hongli, who was lying on the ground, laughed like crazy, ha ha ha. Jian Yu, I'm convinced, can you give me a way to survive? Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, how to survive? What kind of survival do you want? Zhao Hongli said, I think you must not be interested in this medal either. Lin Xiao was indeed not interested in this medal, because if he was equipped with this medal, it would be equivalent to signing a selling contract with Prince Andre, and he would become Prince Andre's lackey. Although other players think it is honorable to be a dog for the major lords, but those are other players. How can a person who has ascended to the throne of God be willing to be a dog for others? Zhao Hongli said, you return the medal to me, and I will make a deal with you. Lin Xiao's lips raised, do you want to make a deal with me? Why do you still naively think that you are qualified to make a deal with me? Zhao Hongli said sternly, go back to the city. He was yelling at Sister Hong and others. How could Sister Hong and others dare to disobey his orders? They all immediately resurrected and returned to the city. At this time, only Zhao Hongli and Lin Xiao were left in the field. Lin Xiao understood that Zhao Hongli had the resurrection scroll, so he said in a deep voice, get up, I won't kill you. Sure enough, after receiving Lin Xiao's assurance, Zhao Hongli used the resurrection scroll and resurrected on the spot. A low-level resurrection scroll like this is only suitable for low-level players. It can only resurrect people on the spot and has no effect on reducing losses. Death after level 20 will result in loss of experience. Such a low-level resurrection scroll will, it seems, very useless. Zhao Hongli was wearing a pair of underpants and looked very embarrassed. Lin Xiao didn't bother to care whether he looked ugly or not. Tell me what the deal is. Zhao Hongli lowered his voice and said, then it depends on whether you have the courage. Lin Xiao sneered, nonsense. Zhao Hongli said, okay. Then I ask you, do you dare to rob the NPC? Lin Xiao's expression changed and he was stunned. Seeing Lin Xiao's expression, Zhao Hongli couldn't help but feel a little proud. Although I can't beat you with my hands, I can scare you with my words, and I can regain a little face. It's cool. But, immediately, Lin Xiao smiled meaningfully at Zhao Hongli, I remembered, it turns out that sand sculpture is. When he said the last word, Lin Xiao stopped in time. This time, Zhao Hongli was in a daze, what do you mean? Lin Xiao sneered, you want to rob Prince Andre's hunting treasure trove, right? Zhao Hongli was so frightened that all the hairs on his body stood up, how did you know? Zhao Hongli was really frightened. You must know that robbing NPCs is a fantasy idea in the eyes of all players. It has absolutely no chance of success, and if it fails, the NPCs will kill them. It is basically impossible to survive through online pursuit, and he just thought about it in his mind out of boredom yesterday, and has no intention of putting it into practice at this stage. How did Lin Xiao guess it? Lin Xiao didn't guess it, but suddenly thought of it, because something like this did happen in the last life. When Prince Andrei was about to be defeated, the president of a guild under him saw that the situation was over. He actually took advantage of him and led his men to rob his hunting treasure house. However, a skinny camel is bigger than a horse. No matter how miserable Prince Andrei is, how can the president be able to move him? The president and his men were all shot to death on the spot, and finally Prince Andrei was directly killed. Banned for 10,000 years. Unable to log into the game, they naturally cannot go to the kingdom of God. When the final destruction comes, their fate can be imagined. At that time, this news became a popular joke across the server. Lin Xiao had never been interested in this kind of nonsense news, so after reading it, he quickly forgot about it. Now that Zhao Hongli suddenly mentioned it, Lin Xiao remembered that the ID of the Shadiao Guild president was Wan Li Changjiun. Thanks to --322780454 for sending a gift pack of reminder charms. Long live the boss! Thanks to --562551009 for the gift of likes. Boss is cheating. Have you all gone to school? Why are everyone missing? I really want to cry. Chapter 78. Lin Xiao sneered and said, "How come you want to pretend to be sophisticated in front of me? You really think too much. You know the secrets of the game. Do you think I don't know?" Zhao Hongli said a little unconvinced, "You can't say that. I have been working for Prince Andrei for a week, and you have never been in contact with him. You said that I definitely don't know as much as you do about other things, but when it comes to discussing it is absolutely impossible for you to know more about Prince Andrei than I do." Lin Xiao sarcastically said, "Oh? Really? Then do you know who is the strongest among the dead soldiers raised by Prince Andrei?" Zhao Hongli was stunned. "This, who can know this? The Major Lord NPCs raise the dead soldiers in secret. People like Zhao Hongli have single-line contact with them. They will not know the existence of other dead soldiers at all, let alone know who is the strongest." Lin Xiao said an ID in a deep voice, "Daopa, you are just one of his free-range errands, and Daopa is his real confidant." Zhao Hongli was shocked. "You, how could you know? I don't believe it. You said Daopa is his confidant, why have I never heard of this person?" Lin Xiao said, "The reason you haven't heard is because you are just an errand runner. Naturally, your master cannot tell you everything. Without your master, you are nothing, but Daopa is different. He will become a famous passerby king in the whole server in the future. If you really go to rob your master's hunting treasure house, you will be able to meet him. Then you will know how big the gap is between your errands and your confidants." In the previous life, after Prince Andrei was defeated, all his dead soldiers fell into disarray and were basically eliminated. However, one person became an exception, and that was Daopa. Daopa is the general manager of the hunting treasury for Prince Andrei. As long as he reaches the required level, he can equip and borrow the magic weapons in the treasure trove. When Zhao Hongli and others sneaked into the treasure trove, they triggered the treasure house mechanism, and Daopa returned immediately. In the maze-like treasure house of the city, he killed them one by one like ghosts. After Saber left Prince Andrei's mansion, Santa Kasia had no place for him, and he moved to other servers. He had stayed in several national servers such as Bilgewater and Sea of Conquest, and he was everywhere in all the national servers he has stayed in. He has topped the achievement list. No matter where he goes, he does not join any guilds and works alone. He is one of the top 10 passerbys rated by netizens. Zhao Hongli's heart suddenly became extremely angry. In addition to anger, he was also disappointed, frustrated, and desolate. He always thought that he was Prince Andrei's confidant, so he was very proud of himself. When he looked at ordinary players, he had a sense of superiority. But now he realized that an outsider knew much more about his master than he did. He is just the lowest errand boy. With such a huge gap, of course he will feel unbalanced. Looking at Zhao Hongli's expression, Lin Xiao sneered in his heart. At the same time, he was also secretly thinking that although Andrei was just a young duke, many of the treasures in his hunting treasure house were the best treasures that players at their level dreamed of. In fact, he was not interested in the idea of robbing NPCs, is very interested. However, he also had to face many practical problems. According to the plot of the previous life, Zhao Hongli and the others took advantage of Prince Andrei's defeat when they were at level 30, and failed in the end. If he were to rob Duke André now, not to mention that the current Duke André had not yet declined and was strong, it would be difficult for him to succeed. And even if he succeeded, Prince André's territory and reputation would still be there, so it would be unbearable for Prince André to block him from the entire network. The benefits and risks of this plan were extremely high, so Lin Xiao had to be cautious. Finally, Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, "I will give you news about this matter in a few days." Zhao Hongli was suddenly shocked. You really dare?" He just fantasized in his mind. At this time, he didn't have the courage to take action. He originally just wanted to stimulate Lin Xiao, but he didn't expect that Lin Xiao actually took the move. Lin Xiao sneered, "Nonsense! What you dare to think about, there is nothing I dare not do." Zhao Hongli felt chills rising from the soles of his feet. Robbing an NPC in the game was a more serious crime than robbing a bank in reality. Lin Xiao actually dared. Zhao Hongli almost knelt down in front of Lin Xiao. "Master, I really admire you now. Master, please hug me with my thighs. If it doesn't work, I can hang it on your leg hair." At first, Zhao Hongli wanted to recruit Lin Xiao as his subordinate. Just before he started, he wanted to cooperate with Lin Xiao. Now, he just wants to hug Lin Xiao's thigh. Now, he finally understood the correct status gap between him and Lin Xiao. He acted privately this time and lost so miserably. There will definitely be no good results if he goes back. Even if he follows Prince André again, he won't get any benefits. He might as well hug Lin Xiao's lap, maybe he can still do it in the future. Follow with a few sips of soup. Lin Xiao thought for a while, although people like Zhao Hongli were annoying, they might be of some use. So he added Zhao Hongli as a friend, and then said, "You go back to your master first to give him orders. Even if he treats you like a dog, you have to stay by his side and wag your tail for me. I will have a plan then, and you are responsible for it. Be my internal agent. Remember, only you and I know about this matter. Even if you have Sister Hong and Qin Hao under your command, you are not allowed to reveal a word. Don't worry, if I make this deal, you will be indispensable." Of benefits. Zhao Hongli was overjoyed. Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry, Lord, every word you say, including the punctuation marks, I guarantee will be carried out as an imperial edict. With that said, Zhao Hongli sent Lin Xiao a phone number. "Master, this is my private number. In reality, you can call me at any time." Lin Xiao said him and waved his hand, and Zhao Hongli returned to the city knowingly. The viewing ceremony continued, and everyone received a good commemorative award. However, Lin Xiao's double championship reward has not been announced for a long time. Everyone is waiting curiously to know what Lin Xiao's double championship reward is. When Lin Xiao himself announced in public that the event was over. He didn't plan to announce his double championship reward, because it was a bit cheap and he could just keep it secretly without irritating those sour lemon essences. Returning to the palace garden, Prince Nolan said, "Master Jian Yu, I have prepared 2 great gifts for you." However, Lin Xiao said, "You're welcome, Prince. It's just a trivial matter. It's not worth mentioning. I don't want the big gift. Just help me unlock this burning gem card." With that said, Lin Xiao handed over the burning gem card that exploded from Duke Zoom, with a smirk on his lips. "Thank you, Kunkunyu, player 9527, 10956654, 10111672, and under the legend of a little you, for sending gifts. Thank you all for your support." Chapter 79. Prince Nolan's expression suddenly became awkward. "Master, what do you mean? Cards like this can be unlocked by players themselves, but it just depends on their character. For example, Lin Xiao's burning gem card can unlock 1 to 10 burning gems at a time. If you are lucky, you can unlock it. Unlock 10, but if your character is very different, you may only be able to unlock 1. Lin Xiao said, "My character is not very good. If I unlock it myself, I think I can only get 1. Then I will really suffer a big loss. I know that Nang City is rich in various gems, so the White Walkers the Legion will support Duke Zoom's rebellion in order to search for Nang City's rich gem and mineral resources. As the new king, I think your luck will definitely be much better than mine. If you help me unlock it, I will definitely be able to unlock huge prizes." The corner of Prince Nolan's mouth twitched a few times. Now he understood what Lin Xiao meant. The reason why Lin Xiao didn't want the double championship reward was because he was interested in Nang City's gem resources. Of course Prince Nolan knew that even if he gave Lin Xiao 10 burning gems now, he would not be able to satisfy Lin Xiao's appetite, because this burning gem card had the chance to produce 10 burning gems. Prince Nolan said carefully, "How many gems do you want me to unlock, Great Master?" Lin Xiao said with a bad smile, "If possible, I hope Nang City can contract all my gems below level 50. Prince Nolan's eyes almost burst out. Lin Xiao is only at level 20 now. The current basic equipment for ordinary players is 7 pieces, but Lin Xiao already has an extra pentakill ring and a god-killing ring. According to the current level in terms of the number of equipment, there are 9 pieces of equipment, and 1 piece is inlaid with 4 gems, which is 36. 20, 30, 40, and 50, Lin Xiao had to change equipment 4 times in total. In other words, Lin Xiao had to take at least 144 gems from him. This is only the current number of equipment. In the future, the official will launch various limited edition equipment, and Lin Xiao may also obtain more achievement rings. So in total, it may be 2 to 300. No, the more gems are inlaid, the greater the chance of failure. Even top equipment masters cannot guarantee that they will never fail. Therefore, this number must be at least times 2, that is, 5 or 600 gems. Moreover, these 5 or 600 gems are constantly upgraded. For example, level 20 equipment can only be equipped with first level gems, while level 30 equipment must be equipped with second level gems. With how greedy Lin Xiao is, he will definitely not ask for level 1 gems when he reaches level 30. Every time a gem is upgraded, its value will double. And the level 4 gems used to inlay level 50 equipment are, for Nank, for the city, it is already quite rare. Fortunately, Nang City is only a small city and can only produce gems with level 50 equipment at most. Otherwise, according to Lin Xiao's approach, the entire Nang City will be depleted. Calculating it this way, Lin Xiao not only opened the lion's mouth, but also dislocated the lion's mouth. Prince Nolan said with some embarrassment, "Master, is your request a bit too?" Prince Nolan was a little embarrassed to say what he said next, but Lin Xiao said, "Duke Zoom committed regicide before to seize the throne. The reason why he didn't kill you is because you have the key to Nang City's treasure house. I believe that in the future, the wealth of Nang City's treasure house, my request is simply a drop in the bucket, not worth mentioning. In addition, you are now His Majesty, so I think you should know very well that compared with the throne and life, a few gems are nothing. Nang City is rich in gems, so it is favored by many great lords and the White Walker army. Good leeks, they will want to harvest Nang City's leeks at any time, as well as your Majesty's head. Naturally, I am willing to protect you, your Majesty. However, if I don't have enough powerful equipment, how can I protect you? So your Majesty, you better think clearly. Are you willing to pay a little bit? The price is to buy an insurance for your throne and life, or are you willing to resign yourself to fate and wait for others to take your head?" Lin Xiao is a veteran, and he knows very well how to deal with new kings like Nolan. Ordinary players are still begging to hug the NPC, but Lin Xiao has directly started to threaten the NPC. Sure enough, after hearing Lin Xiao's words, the new king Nolan trembled with fright, and the crown on his head shook crookedly. Lin Xiao was right. His request seemed excessive, but in fact it was just a drop in the bucket compared to the wealth in Nang City's treasure house. No matter how stingy Nolan was, he still knew how good the deal was. Yes. What the master said is that I don't need to unlock this burning gem card. I will give you another card directly. After saying that, Nolan took out a gold card with Nang's crown on it and gave it to Lin Xiao. Black Gold Knight card, Nang City's exclusive VIP card. With this card, you can receive unlimited gems for free at the Nang City Internal Affairs Bureau. The gems you receive have special marks and are only for the card holder's own use and cannot be given to others for resale. Lin Xiao's lips curled up, "Thank you." Immediately, Lin Xiao came to the Ministry of Internal Affairs and received 30 burning gems with his knight card. Although there are various magical gems that add attributes, Lin Xiao only chooses the burning gem, because currently, only the burning gem adds attack attributes. Attack is the best defense. Lin Xiao's combat theory is, as long as the enemy is killed, there is no need to defend. Because his current King series set only has 3 pieces of equipment, the King's Blade, the King's Glory Armor, and the King's Cry Helmet. Anyway, he already has the card, and the cash machine in Nang City will not run away. If you need it, he can come and get it at any time. Returning to True Dragon City, Lin Xiao gave Xian Yu the 3 newly obtained pieces of equipment and asked him to upgrade immediately. Lin Xiao's upgrades naturally require a complete set, including refining, enchanting, inlaying, and signature. Soon, Jian Yu was all forged. As expected of a top equipment master, each piece of equipment was studded with 4 gems. The whole process only failed twice. Counting losses, there were only 9 gems left out of 30. The rewards for setting gems are not calculated based on quantity, but there is a cumulative bonus reward. 1 gem can add 15 attack power, and the cumulative reward bonus when 4 gems are set is directly added to 100. The 3 pieces of equipment provided Lin Xiao with an additional 300 basic attack power. After putting on 3 new pieces of clothing, Lin Xiao's basic attributes became even more violent. HP 9360 attack power, 3708 spell power, 5868 double defense, 3000 plus enchantment switch single defense, 6000 plus. He is only one step away from over 10,000 HP, and his basic attack power is nearly 4000. After being multiplied several times with various attribute blessings, at his level, he can no longer be described as a pervert. Then, he gave Jian Yu all the large amounts of equipment and magic fairy stones he had harvested in this event. The equipment was sold and the magic fairy stones were used to pay off debts. Originally, Jian Yu thought that it would take a long time for Lin Xiao to pay off his debts, but instead unexpectedly, in just 2 days, Lin Xiao not only paid off all his debts, but also earned more than 100 pills. What? You want to rob Prince Andrei's hunting treasury? In the goddess pavilion behind Fengxiang Tower, Mo Union was so shocked that she stood up from her chair. Lin Xiao smiled playfully and said, although the word robbery is correct, it is unpleasant to hear. I prefer to use the word 0 yuan purchase, which means taking something without paying for it. Thanks to time and space slowly recalling, Tianxia, the founder of Tianyi Pavilion, and Pai Gan Leiden for the gift. Thank you all for your strong support. Because of you, this book will be a hit. Chapter 80. Mo Union's eyes almost turned white. Buy for 0 yuan? You really said it nicely. Do you know what consequences you will bear if you fail? Lin Xiao raised the corners of his mouth. I know, so I must not fail. Mo Union was speechless. Forget it, wouldn't it be better to just keep calm and improve your level? Why do you have to take such a risk? Have you forgotten the agreement between me? We have to join forces to conquer it from True Dragon City. Lin Xiao said, of course I haven't forgotten, that's why I have to take risks. If I don't have the courage to take risks for my dreams will never come true. Mo Union was stunned. Lin Xiao continued, you have nothing but the title of 3rd princess now. Why do you think you can snatch the throne of True Dragon City from your elder brother? Mo Union couldn't answer. Lin Xiao continued, so we must take risks and grab other people's resources to strengthen ourselves. This is our only correct choice. This is a world where the weak and the strong prey on each other. You can either be a hunter or a prey. We don't have a third choice. We can either take the initiative to kill or wait to be killed. I choose to kill. What about you? Mo Union was stunned for a long time, and finally said with a wry smile, okay, I'm convinced by you, but can you really guarantee that you will never fail? Lin Xiao said, it's not possible now. I need to improve for a few more days. When I'm ready, I still need you to hold an event to coordinate my actions. Mo Union said without hesitation, okay. Lin Xiao stood up, thank you. After saying that, Lin Xiao turned around and left, very simply. Mo Union was about to say something more, but couldn't speak any more. Looking at Lin Xiao's back, Mo Union smiled bitterly. Originally, she came to Lin Xiao through Xian Yu because she felt that Lin Xiao did have some abilities and could be trained. However, after several contacts, she realized that this man was more ambitious and more capable than her. They were braver and more visionary. Unknowingly, their identities had been swapped, and Lin Xiao took the initiative. Only Lin Xiao can realize her dream. Lin Xiao can leave her, but she can no longer leave Lin Xiao. However, in addition to mutual interests, Mo Union also realized that she could not leave Lin Xiao just because of interests. It seemed that there was something else hidden in her heart. For the first time, she felt that she can also have feelings for others, and she seems to be unable to control these feelings. Lin Xiao's intermediate marrow cleansing pill has passed the auction time. The last buyer was Nai Xiaoyu, and the transaction price was 20 million. It is strange. From the records, Fan Huoruoxiu and Nai Xiao only bid once. Fan Huoruoxiu paid out 15 million once, and when Nai Xiao reached 20 million, she stopped following it, as if she suddenly lost interest in this mid-level marrow cleansing pill. Lin Xiao thought about it for a while and quickly figured out that there was only one possibility for such a change, that is, Fan Huoruoxiu suddenly had a better goal, and this intermediate marrow cleansing pill lost its appeal to her. A better goal? Lin Xiao couldn't help but wonder, at present, what treasure is more attractive than this intermediate marrow cleansing pill? Lin Xiao didn't think much and immediately logged off. In the president's office of Chongfeng Foundation, Zhao Hongli sat on the sofa with an angry look on his face. A circle of bodyguards stood in front of him, surrounding Qin Hao and Sister Hong. Sister Hong is fine, but Qin Hao is miserable. His originally handsome face has been beaten into a pig's head, and his nostrils and corners of his mouth are full of blood. Speaking of which, he is quite unlucky, a toad thought. I didn't get enough of the swan meat, so the villain finally got his way. Less than a week later, he was knocked back to his original shape. No, it was worse than being beaten back to his original form, because Zhao Hongli was not an ordinary ruthless person. Because of his and Sister Hong's seduction, Zhao Hongli went on his own to have a fight with Lin Xiao tonight. As a result, the entire guild lost with only their pants. Although Lin Xiao returned Zhao Hongli's medal to him, when Zhao Hongli returned to Prince Andrei's palace, he received the most severe punishment since the launch of the game. Prince Andrei directly permanently sealed his Medal of Merit, which means that no matter how hard he works for Prince Andrei in the future, he will not get any reward, which means that he will be PRSTU'd by Prince Andrei for free. Lifetime. In addition, Prince Andrei also forcibly reduced his SSS level talent to the lowest C level and locked it permanently. In other words, even if he takes the marrow cleansing pill, it will be useless, and he will always be trash in the future. This is the biggest risk of being a lord's retainer. After signing a contract with the lord, unless the lord dies, or is accepted by a new master, or your own strength exceeds the lord, otherwise, you can only serve as a slave to the lord for the rest of your life. Slave, everything about you is not protected by the rules of the game. If you offend your master, you will die how the master wants you to die. Now it can be said that Zhao Hongli's game journey has basically come to an end. Zhao Hongli blames all this on Qin Hao and Sister Hong. With his temper, it is naturally impossible for these two people to end well. Sister Hong and Qin Hao were extremely regretful at this time. They finally realized that becoming Lin Xiao's enemy was definitely the stupidest decision they had ever made in their lives. Sister Hong said with a tearful voice, "Mr. Zhao, please give me another chance. For the sake of giving you so much happiness, please spare me." Zhao Hongli snorted coldly, "You'd better save some energy. If you don't want to pay the price for cheating me, do you think I, Zhao Hongli, am so easy to talk to?" After saying that, Zhao Hongli said to a bodyguard, "Sang Kun, go and inform all the brothers in this building who are still working overtime, including the security uncle downstairs and the old man selling spicy hot pot at the door. Sister Hong will accompany them tonight. Eat late night snacks, eat with them without clothes, they can eat whatever they want, I will let them all taste the taste of Yanhai City's #1 socialite. Everyone has a share, I treat." When everyone heard this, their eyes lit up and they were overjoyed. They all thanked Zhao Hongli for his generosity and shouted "Long live!" Sister Hong's face suddenly turned pale. Then, Zhao Hongli stared at the trembling Qin Hao again. "As for you, you blind BD, whoever you look for to pretend to be bad, insists on provoking Jian Yu for me. I, Zhao Hongli, have always been a dishonest villain, but this time I will give you face, I'm keeping my word with you. Sang Kun. Call me again to remind me how long it will take for the doctor who returned from studying in Thailand to arrive." Sang Kun said, "Brothers have sent a special car to pick him up. It will arrive in about 20 minutes. Zhao Hongli looked ferocious. "Qin Hao, I heard that you like beauties with big cup sizes, right? I will satisfy you today." Qin Hao's face turned pale and he couldn't say a word. "Thanks to you yet, a little you under the legend, Emperor Zun, Yang Diaoxing, SCP-3200, QAI, Bubitni, and the world-destroying god and demon for their gifts. Special thanks to Yang Diaoxing, QAI, the inspiration capsule sent out. All my inspiration comes from you, thank you very much." Chapter 81. Zhao Hongli looked out the floor-to-ceiling windows again. The night sky in the metropolis tonight was particularly weird, because since the blood moon phenomenon on the day the server was launched, starting from today, the phenomenon started again, and suddenly in the night sky there are many more superstars that humans have never discovered. They appear out of thin air and form a huge constellation that looks like a holy shield. For a time, various self-media conspiracy theories were rampant. Some people say that human beings were originally experimental subjects placed on the Earth by aliens, and now, the aliens are coming back to execute the experimental subjects. Some also say that the entire universe is actually just a small cell in a giant organism. Now that giant organism has died, the universe will also be destroyed. Others say that this is the manifestation of the ancient curse of Indi. The demon Rahu has accumulated enough energy and he will officially devour the entire universe. These conspiracy theories have spread and panic has spread all over the world. Officials from various countries have sent a large number of professors and experts to refute the rumors, telling the public not to believe or spread rumors. Everything is under the control of the United Nations. The sun will rise as usual tomorrow. Since then, human society has been extremely safe. As a result, the panic was quickly dispelled, and everyone continued to play happily. But who is Zhao Hongli? He is not a fool, and he has his own methods. Through his own abilities, he has obtained top-secret information from many high-level countries through various channels. All the information shows that the real world will completely collapse in the near future, and the only way to salvation is in the game Eternal Journey. At least half of humanity will die in that collapse. Only expert players can you escape the great collapse through the game. Not only that, you can also obtain various superpowers, transcend mortals, and become a new god human. The reason why officials from various countries and big bosses around the world did not make this top-secret document public is that they do not want ordinary people to compete with them. After all, the so-called elite only account for 1% of all mankind. If 99% of ordinary people, if you all compete with them, many of them will be eliminated. They are all prophets of the game. They don't want to be losers. They block the news and die as friends rather than as poor people, so naturally they become the best choice. This is why Lin Xiao hates these game prophets so much. It is precisely because of knowing this that Zhao Hongli is so angry and hates Sister Hong and Qin Hao. These two bastards caused him to lose his qualification to compete in advance. Now he wants to kill these two guys with 1,000 knives. Soon, several bodyguards led a medical team to Zhao Hongli's spacious office. The leader was a gentle man wearing gold-rimmed glasses, followed by several beautiful nurse ladies, each of whom was holding a medical procedure box. The first impression they give people is professional. Qin Hao was so frightened that he trembled all over, as if he had been electrocuted. Mr. Zhao, please give me another chance. I will definitely make up for my merits. But Zhao Hongli said with a ferocious smile, exchange merit for crime? You are like me now, and you have been demoted to C-level trash by Prince Andrei. What the hell can you use to exchange merit for crime? You like big cup sizes, right, and so do I. Doctor. Make him bigger for me, I want a peach shape. I want this Bai Qi to know the consequences of cheating on me. Immediately, Qin Hao was forced onto a table by 5 or 6 bodyguards. Looking at the anesthesia needle in the doctor's hand, Qin Hao's face turned purple with fright. Someone had reminded him before that Zhao Hongli went crazy, and even he himself he was afraid. He didn't believe it at the time, but now he has seen that Zhao Hongli is really well deserved. He can actually do such a heavy-handed punishment method. Seeing that the anesthesia needle was about to be inserted into his body, Qin Hao was completely desperate. But at this moment, Zhao Hongli's cell phone suddenly rang. It was his personal cell phone. Very few people knew the number, and it was an unfamiliar number. Zhao Hongli frowned and answered the call. Who? A very young voice came from over there, Jian Yu. Zhao Hongli was immediately overjoyed that Jian Yu actually called him. Because of his excitement, Zhao Hongli almost dropped his cell phone. Master. Hello, what's the matter with Master calling so late? If it's not convenient to talk on the phone, I can send my private plane to pick you up. I'm in Yanhai City now, and my private plane can do it. Direct access across the country, very convenient. If we really want to meet, the private plane will of course not be used, because Lin Xiao is also in Yanhai City. Lin Xiao was not worried about Zhao Hongli finding out about him, because in this era, mobile phone communications were no longer dominated by the 3 major blood-sucking communication providers. Private mobile phones were already independent communication systems, and it was absolutely impossible for Zhao Hongli to find out. Moreover, Lin Xiao also plans to move. His current wealth is enough for him to move out of this dilapidated rental house. No need, I won't meet anyone before the King Salamander mutates. Mutation of King Salamander. Yes. Lin Xiao explained to Zhao Hongli the outline of the King Salamander's mutation just like he explained to Fan Huaruoxiu and Nai Xiao last time. Zhao Hongli was frightened when he heard this. He had not found out the information. This did not mean that he was not strong enough, but it only meant that the officials of various countries were rubbish and they did not know. Now Zhao Hongli finally understands why Lin Xiao can become a great god, because he is the real prophet of the game, and he is the one who truly understands this game. No. He is a god. Have you seen those new stars in the Aegis that suddenly appeared tonight? The Aegis is just the beginning. The next one to appear is the sword. The mutation of the blue salamander is not far away from us. In your current state, without my help, you have no hope of ascending to the kingdom of God. When the time comes, you will have no choice but to die. With a pop, Zhao Hongli cried, Master, did you hear it? I have kneeled down for you. From now on, you are my father. You can legally FK my mother. Please, Master, you must have mercy on me and give me a way to survive. Lin Xiao said, then it depends on whether you dare to fight or not. Listen, there will be a special event in 3 days. Then you must fully cooperate with me. I will sneak into Prince Andrei's hunting treasure house that day. You must cooperate with me fully and don't play any tricks with me, do you understand? Zhao Hongli was stunned, how do you know there will be a special event in 3 days? But as soon as he finished speaking, he immediately slapped himself hard. Isn't this nonsense? Jian Yu is a god, of course he knows everything. Yes, yes, sir, don't worry, I will fully cooperate with you when the time comes. If I dare to play tricks, I will kill you. You seem to have said that I was your father just now, right? No, no, no. God, please don't misunderstand, Zhao Hongli was so anxious that he was sweating profusely. Lin Xiao sneered and said, okay, it's best if you can understand the situation. I will inform you again when I have new instructions. Zhao Hongli knelt on the ground and kowtowed, yes, yes. At this moment, Sister Hong cried hoarsely into the phone, God! God, save me! Thank you, cowardly, for sending me the inspiration capsule, which helped my thoughts flow. Thank you, Nan Yuan and Uncle Tong Xin for sending me like gifts. Thank you, Nasha Hard Bang Bang, for sending me the reminder. I'm embarrassed to read your ID. It's super. Thank you, Purple Rice Red Bean Cake, for the little leather whip, the boss is super awesome. It's awesome with gold and diamonds. Chapter 82. Lin Xiao frowned, what's the situation? Zhao Hongli said quickly, it's nothing, nothing. Didn't those Lu Yuheng and Qin Hao offend you, Great Master? I'm helping you teach them a lesson. Don't worry, Great Master, my methods are perverted and cruel. I guarantee your satisfaction. Originally, Lin Xiao did want to settle the score with these two people, but now that Zhao Hongli has helped, Lin Xiao does not intend to pursue the case, because he knows that Zhao Hongli will never let these two people off easily. But unexpectedly, Sister Hong cried hoarsely on the other end again, Master! I was wrong, I know I was wrong, please help me, I have super welfare information for you. Lin Xiao immediately ordered, give her the phone. As long as there is something beneficial, Lin Xiao will never miss it. Zhao Hongli did not dare to neglect, and quickly ordered someone to pull Sister Hong over and handed her the phone. I'm very busy. If you have anything to say, please tell me quickly. Lin Xiao's attitude is very cold. Although he is not completely heartless, he can also be a hero and save beauties, but it depends on the person. Women like Lu Yuheng are not within the scope of his sympathy. Therefore, if he is not interested in the benefits mentioned by Sister Hong, then he will not care about the life and death of such a woman. Yes, yes, do you know the true identity of Fan Huaruoxiu? Her name is Bai Suo, and she is a person in charge with a very high background. Lin Xiao knew Fan Huaruoxiu's real name for the first time, but in this life, he no longer had the interest in Fan Huaruoxiu in the previous life, because he had seen through Fan Huaruoxiu's character. She is not as shown in her video, a person who sincerely teaches fans game skills and is kind and sweet to all fans. This is just an illusion caused by Lin Xiao's past being too humble and too simple-minded. In fact, for popular female internet celebrities like this, everyone knows what they mean by I love you. If you think that they really love you when they say they love you through the screen, then you can only say, you might be a one-celled paramecium. She only has strong people in her eyes. Perhaps this is also because of her identity. She is enthusiastic and proactive towards Lin Xiao, just because Lin Xiao is a strong person. If a stronger person than Lin Xiao appears now, then he will not hesitate to please the stronger one. Lin Xiao interrupted Sister Hong coldly, I'm not interested in Fan Huaruoxiu's identity. If there's something important, just talk about it. Sister Hong said quickly, yes, Bai Suohu plans to clear the copy of Yanjun in advance tomorrow. Lin Xiao was stunned, because the copy of Yanjun is a level 20 copy of Overcoming Tribulation, and the level 10 copy can only be regarded as a small test for the novice period. Everyone has received the same task, and they have only completed a single copy. Even if it is a test, if you pass, you can only get a foundation building practice certification. But things are different starting from level 20. Starting from level 20, the missions of Overcoming the Tribulation begin to become more and more diverse, there are more and more adventures, and the chances of low-talented players overtaking in corners also increase greatly. For other ordinary dungeons, unless you enter as a team, if 2 people enter alone, they will enter 2 independent dungeons. The Yanjun dungeon is different. It is an open and public dungeon. Even if players do not form a group, they will all appear in the same Fengde city after entering the dungeon. Moreover, everyone has different tasks when entering Fengde city, so the rewards after completion are also different. It won't be the same. More importantly, level 20 tribulation missions can be claimed in advance. That is to say, even if your level is less than 20, as long as you have the special prop Yanjun Ling, you can complete level 20 tribulation missions in advance. Completing the mission to overcome the tribulation can obtain the tribulation reward in advance, and this early tribulation reward has additional bonuses. The lower the level, the higher the reward. For example, if you complete the task at level 19, the additional achievements will not be too high, but if you complete it at level 14 or 5, the additional achievements will be quite generous. Obtaining the reward for overcoming the tribulation in advance can speed up the leveling up. Even if it cannot be achieved overnight, overtaking in corners can greatly narrow the gap with top players. No wonder Fan Huaruoxiu suddenly lost interest in Lin Xiao's intermediate marrow cleansing pill. It turned out that it was because of Yan Junling. Lin Xiao secretly sneered and went to brush the copy of Yanjun in advance. It seemed very tempting, but in fact it was a cake that could be seen but not eaten. Because, although it is not specifically stated on the Yanjun Ling, entering the Yanjun dungeon with the Yanjun Ling will trigger additional ultra-difficult hidden tasks, so players think it does not. But based on the statistics of various posts from players in the previous life, Lin Xiao was almost certain that Yan Junling would indeed randomly trigger various hidden tasks. For example, players will suddenly encounter a randomly generated super boss on the road. Another example is that I suddenly saw a mysterious treasure chest, but when I opened it, I found a big pit. For another example, various NPCs will take the initiative to greet players, and during the conversation, players will be led into traps step by step. These are hidden tasks that are not specifically explained. They may seem accidental, but in fact they are inevitable, because only those players who hold the Yanjun Ling will encounter these adventures. The level of the players themselves is not enough, and if the small horse-drawn cart is overweight, it will be even more impossible to succeed. In the previous life, there were many players who were greedy for the high bonus rewards and took risks, but Lin Xiao only saw it on the forum. There are posts about players crying about how they were cheated, but I have never seen posts about anyone succeeding. A smirk appeared on Lin Xiao's lips. Those ordinary players who forced small horses to pull carts naturally didn't want to encounter hidden difficult tasks, but he really wanted to encounter them. How do you know that Fan Huaruoxiu will clear the copy of Yanjun in advance tomorrow? Are you familiar with her? Yet. At this point, Sister Hong can only do all her moves. It turns out that since she was promoted to the SSS level by Prince Andrei, she has been discovered by Fan Huaruoxiu's powerful intelligence network. Even hermit players can. After she found out, she had to say that the power behind Fan Huaruoxiu was indeed very powerful. Fan Huaruoxiu wanted to recruit her, but she refused because Zhao Hongli regarded her as a treasure at that time. Therefore, she thought that she could become the president's wife of the Invincible Guild, so naturally she would not work for Fan Huaruoxiu. But she didn't expect that the Invincible Guild suffered a disastrous defeat at the hands of Lin Xiao yesterday. At that time, she knew that she was going to suffer, so she had to ask Fan Huaruoxiu for help. Then she knew Fan Huaruoxiu's plan, and Fan Huaruoxiu invited she would go on an adventure together tomorrow. She originally planned to run away tonight, but she didn't expect that she would be captured by Zhao Hongli's men. Zhao Hongli gritted his teeth and said, "Damn, you BCH, you used to beg to be with me, but now you have tricked me to death. You just want to wipe Yura and leave. How can such a good thing happen?" Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, "Listen, don't touch her hair. Let her enter the game to find me tomorrow." Although Zhao Hongli was unwilling to do so, how could he dare to disobey Lin Xiao's words? He immediately said with sincerity and fear, "Yes, yes, yes, don't worry, master, I will definitely put her in a good place. No one can even think of touching her hair. Let her be the same tomorrow. The best condition comes into the game to find you." When Sister Hong heard this, she breathed a sigh of relief. With Lin Xiao protecting her, she was completely relieved. Thank you God for saving my life." When Qin Hao saw this, it was as if he had grasped a life-saving straw. He cried and shouted, "Great God! Great God, please save me! Great God, I fell into a dream with a sword. Great God, please be kind enough to save me." Thanks to user 0, Sad Fox, 1234567, 72024208, and the little match seller for the gifts and encouragement, thank you all for your support. Thanks to, no, for the big gift package of reminders, the boss is awesome. Chapter 83. A sword enters a dream? Lin Xiao sneered, "Am I familiar with you? You bet me to lick your feet before, and now you want me to save you. If I were you now, would you save me?" Qin Hao was speechless, because with his villainous character, if he and Lin Xiao exchanged heights and it was Lin Xiao who was trampled under his feet, then not only would he not save Lin Xiao, but he would also let Lin Xiao Zhao Hongli beat Lin Xiao even harder. In the past, when he was working at the Nai family, he was always rude to others every day, but after only following Zhao Hongli for a few days, he immediately became crazy. Just 2 days ago, he saw a young couple in a bar and saw someone else's girlfriend. She was beautiful, so she approached her naked and had S*X with her, but was scolded by someone else's boyfriend. Only 5 minutes later, he called in a large number of thugs and beat the boy half to death on the spot. He also booked the entire bar and humiliated the girl in front of other boys. The process was extremely perverted, and he finally left. When I was there, I even threw the boy 200 yuan in humiliation, saying that it was for prostitution for someone else's girlfriend. There is a kind of person in the world who is not worthy of being born, and Qin Hao is this kind of person. Later, he wanted to attack his former boss Nai Xiao. If he hadn't lost today, Nai Xiao would have been killed by now. He was pressed down and tortured like crazy. There is no punishment that is too harsh for this best of beasts, and Lin Xiao was no saint, so she immediately hung up the phone. Let the evildoers take care of themselves, and Lin Xiao will not interfere in Zhao Hongli's family affairs. As Lin Xiao hung up the phone, the doctor's needle was inserted into Qin Hao's body, and Qin Hao let out a desperate scream. Zhao Hongli, on the other hand, had a sinister smile on his face. He heard that this doctor who had studied in Thailand had very good skills. He was really looking forward to what Qin Hao would look like after becoming a woman. The next day, Lin Xiao logged into the game on time. He chose to log in at night every day because he always felt that some things were more appropriate to do at night, such as killing people. He came to the wasteland of the undead, and what appeared in front of him was endless grass and endless graves. Broken monuments, broken tombs, rotten coffins exposed from the ground, and messy bones everywhere, all reveal the gloom and terror. This is the location of Fengde City, the level 20 Tribulation Dungeon. Lin Xiao moved forward along a path. Wow along the way, Lin Xiao startled many man-eating vultures parked on dead trees. They made hair-raising screams and rushed towards Lin Xiao one after another. However, without exception, they all died from Lin Xiao's regicide. Under the blade, Lin Xiao was like a ghost wandering in hell, following countless dead souls to a river crossing. The wide river was covered with black mist, and it was impossible to see the other side, so it was impossible to tell how wide the river was. There are many ferrymen here who are dedicated to ferrying players. They wear long black cloaks and hold a long bamboo pole for boating. The exposed hands have no skin and flesh, only bones. The same is true for their feet, which are wrapped in cloaks and hats. Is also just a skull, looking like the god of death at the Styx ferry. Lin Xiao got on the boat, and the fairy skeleton let out a strange and sinister laugh. He pushed up the bamboo pole and carried him towards the other side. The boat quickly disappeared into the mist on the river. I don't know how long it took, but Lin Xiao finally saw light coming from the distance. With the faint light, he could vaguely see the outline of an abandoned city. This was Fengde City. It was like an isolated island, standing in the misty black river. The boat docked, and Lin Xiao stepped onto the land. On the city gate in front of him, there were 3 large blood-red characters of Fengde City engraved on it. The city gate was wide open, and although no one had entered yet, but the bursts of shrill ghostly screams coming from inside are enough to make people shudder. Lin Xiao raised his lips slightly and stepped into the gate of Fengde City. Here, he saw a witch with blood-red lips. When Sister Hong saw Lin Xiao again at this time, she was like a maid who had done something wrong when she saw her master. The expression on her face was nothing but fear, timidity, and fear. Before Lin Xiao could speak, Sister Hong burst into tears and said, "Master, listen to me. I wanted to follow Bai Suo and provide information for you at any time, but that Bai Suo saw that I have been demoted to sea level now, just blocked me. I really didn't lie to you, but there was nothing I could do." Sister Hong knew very well that the reason why Zhao Hongli didn't attack her was because she was still of some use to Lin Xiao, but now she was of no use to Lin Xiao, so she was very scared, afraid that if Lin Xiao said a word, Zhao Hongli would let her life is worse than death, eternal disaster. Lin Xiao said calmly, "I have expected it a long time ago. If Fan Huaruoxiu doesn't kick away useless people, then she is not Fan Huaruoxiu." Sister Hong immediately said, "Master, I beg you, although I am no longer useful to you in the game, I can still help you gain a lot in the real world. If you ask Zhao Hongli to let me go, I promise I will come to you right away. Really, I can really make you feel satisfied like never before." However, Lin Xiao said, "If you really want to use your body to satisfy me, why do you have to be in the real world? Isn't it good here?" Sister Hong was stunned. "Here? Is this possible? I mean, how do you do it in the game?" "Master, don't be ridiculous." Before Sister Hong finished speaking, Lin Xiao's hand had already reached out. I saw his hand touching Sister Hong's pink neck, and Sister Hong's face changed drastically. Because, even though the graphics of the game world are as detailed as the real world, when players touch each other in the game, even if they are naked, it is like wearing several layers of thick cotton clothes, and there is no real touch at all. Feel. However, now that Lin Xiao's hands touched her pink neck and chest, she had a surreal feeling that was no different from the real world. In fact, because Lin Xiao's hand was too gentle, a tingling pleasure surged through her heart. She couldn't help but open her mouth, and quickly bit her lower lip to suppress the moan that was about to come out. The terrifying Hell Ghost Town, the deserted and strange streets, floating will-o'-the-wisps everywhere, all kinds of ghosts and strange beasts wandering like wandering souls, bursts of howling ghosts from hell, such a creepy place. Lin Xiao the gentle caress made her feel a strong desire and passion. What would it be like to have S**x in a ghost town full of ghosts and monsters? As soon as the idea came up, Sister Hong couldn't hold it back any longer. She smiled charmingly, held Lin Xiao's hand with both hands, and guided the gentle and slender palm towards the more seductive and mysterious parts of her body. Giggle, "It's so amazing. I never felt like this yesterday. I didn't expect that this game would become so weird today. Is it because the game was secretly updated again? No, it's because we have arrived at Fengde City. For all players who have been to Fengde City, the player's real-life soul will be automatically copied into the game. The feeling of the soul is the most real. Naturally, we can have a completely different experience with the real world. The same experience. Thank you, Yeluo Chang'an, Yu Yet, 1754449, under the legend of a little Yu, Green Snake, for sending like gift packs. Thank you, Keek, for sending super gift packs of inspiration capsules. I wish the boss a great success. Hair. Chapter 84. Every player will come to Fengde City to do the task of overcoming the tribulation, so every player's soul will be copied, giving them a surreal experience, but the time will be different sooner or later. Giggle, I see. Sister Hong smiled with spring in her heart. Master really knows everything. If I had known, I would have come here with him a long time ago. With that said, Sister Hong guided Lin Xiao's hand towards her charming snow peak. She thought that Lin Xiao was finally willing to give her a chance to show her skills in pleasing men. However, she misjudged Lin Xiao again. She was wearing a very tempting witch robe, with a very low neckline. As long as Lin Xiao was willing, he could easily hold the pair of bliss peaks by moving down slightly. However, Lin Xiao's hands roughly broke away from her guidance, he directly grabbed her chin and puckered her fragrant red lips. Master, you! Sister Hong suddenly became frightened. Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, you know why I had expected that Fan Huaruoxu would kick you away. Do I still want to keep you? Sister Hong said in shock, isn't it because you want to have a surreal intimate encounter with me in this ghost town? Hey, what a stupid woman, you haven't noticed yet that I'm different from the men before you. Sister Hong's mind went blank. She looked at Lin Xiao blankly. After a while, she finally figured it out. Indeed, Lin Xiao was completely different from the men she had met before. The men she had met before, as long as she acts coquettishly, those men will be delighted and pamper her to the heavens. But Lin Xiao was different. He simply couldn't look down on her vulgar beauty, and his heart might even be too cold to hold any woman. In his cold heart, there was an ambition that no mortal could imagine. Wanting to conquer such a man was simply not something that a coquettish woman like her could do with just one bed. After understanding her identity, Sister Hong finally became honest. I understand, Master, if you need me to help you, please let me know. I will never be smart again. Only then did Lin Xiao let go of his hand holding her chin. You've finally come to your senses, come with me. After saying that, Lin Xiao strode forward along the street. Sister Hong did not dare to neglect and quickly followed. She now understood that Lin Xiao had never planned for her to follow Fan Huaruoxu to provide information from the beginning, so she was even more confused. She was just a sea-level trash now, while Lin Xiao was a super master who dominated the list. What use would an ant like her have to Lin Xiao? Where did Fan Huaruoxu and her teammates go? Coming to a crossroads, Lin Xiao asked in a deep voice. There. Sister Hong pointed to the left, and Lin Xiao understood. It turns out that they are looking for King Ping Ping. There are 10 kings of Yama in Fengde City, namely King Guang of Qin, King Chujiang, King Song, King Wugan, King Yama, King Biancheng, King Taishan, King City, King Ping Ping, and King Xuanlun. Each Yama Lord has his own exclusive Hades Palace. Players can find any Yama Lord to receive the task of overcoming the tribulation, and even if they find the same Yama Lord to accept the task they receive may not be the same, because every Yama Lord you will give different tasks according to the player's different strengths, because the rewards of the tasks will not be the same. Lin Xiao sneered, King Ping Ping, hey, even though he is named King Ping Ping, he is actually the most unfair and evil of all the kings of hell. Sister Hong couldn't help but said, the official has never given any detailed official introduction to the top 10 Yamas. How do you know? Are you doubting me? No, I'm just curious. According to the Great Master, which Yama Lord is the easiest to find to take over the task? Sister Hong is not Lin Xiao. She only wants to take on the simplest tasks, because she is just a sea-level player now. The challenges that she dared to do before, she can't even think about now. For a player like you, it's easy to find any Yan Jun. Sister Hong was stunned, what does this mean? Immediately, Lin Xiao said again, but I must find the most difficult one. Which Yama is the most difficult? The King of Wheels. Then let's go find the King of Wheels now. No rush, I'll go to King Ping Ping first to see if I can get some benefits. Fan Huaruoxu came in with Yan Junling, and according to Lin Xiao's statistical inference, Yan Junling had a hidden mission. With Fan Huaruoxu's strength, it was absolutely impossible for her to cope with those cheating hidden missions. At this time, you can take advantage of this opportunity to reap some benefits. The task of the Rotation King is not easy to complete. Before that, it is a very good choice to gain some benefits and improve your strength. So, the two of them turned left, and in front of them was the Ping Ping Wang Ming Palace. From a distance, Lin Xiao saw Fan Huaruoxu leading more than 20 expert players out of the Ping Ping Wang Ming Palace. Ha ha ha, Yan Junling is really awesome. He gave us the suggestion to find King Ping Ping. As expected, King Ping Ping's task is super easy. We only need to kill a quasi-golden boss. Although our level is not enough, we are good at operation and people. If Jian Yu can single-handedly kill the quasi-golden boss, we will definitely succeed. By the way, Ruoxu, what is the name of that quasi-golden boss? Blossom Ruoxu said in a deep voice, the Lich King Kalista. After saying that, Fan Huaruoxiu added, that is a powerful boss. Everyone should put on single defense equipment. The so-called single defense equipment is a kind of special equipment. After Lin Xiao's equipment is enchanted, he can switch between physical defense and magic defense at will, but other players' equipment cannot. Therefore, other players can only choose single defense equipment under special circumstances. For example, a normal helmet has a magic defense and physical defense of 100 each, and a single defense equipment has a physical defense of 200 or a magic defense of 200. One defense is straight up 0. This kind of equipment can often come in handy when fighting a single attack boss. I advise you not to do this. Lin Xiao suddenly said loudly. Fan Huaruoxiu and others were surprised. They did not expect to meet Lin Xiao here, but when they saw Lin Xiao standing with Sister Hong, they understood that Sister Hong must have called Lin Xiao here. A flash of jealousy flashed in Fan Huaruoxiu's eyes, and she sarcastically said, "No, Jian Yu, why do you have such bad taste? Do you even like this kind of woman? Do you know who she is in reality?" Lin Xiao said calmly, "You don't need to worry about this. Of course I know. I advise you not to change to single defense equipment." Lich King Calista Lin Xiao knew that although he was indeed a powerful boss with a single spell, he had a hidden Cambrian dragon pet, which was also a quasi-golden boss and had powerful physical attacks. Fan Huaruoxiu and the others were obviously tricked. They didn't know about this situation at all, so Lin Xiao wanted to kindly remind her. However, before Lin Xiao could finish speaking, Fan Huaruoxiu interrupted Lin Xiao, "Jian Yu, I have never taken the initiative with any man. You are the first man to reject me. Originally, I thought it was because I was not good enough. So I can't get into the eyes of this great god like you, but now, I really wonder, is it because your vision is not good enough, or is it that you deliberately brought such a rotten woman here to humiliate me? Thanks to -11123678, Xingyu Wish, Children Who Love Reading, and the big gift packages for their support. Thank you everyone. There is also a friend who likes and supports. I'm sorry, I can't type even one of the 4 characters of your name out, but thank you very much." Chapter 85. Fan Huaruoxiu never thought that with her status and beauty, she would one day be jealous of a man. But now, she is jealous, and she has lost her mind with jealousy, and she has the taste of an unruly little shrew. However, Lin Xiao was not used to her bad temper. Lin Xiao simply rolled his eyes, "You are sick." Originally, Lin Xiao had more inside information about Lich King Calista that he was going to tell Fan Huaruoxiu, but now he has no interest in reminding her kindly. "You." Fan Huaruoxiu was so angry that her eyes widened, but she didn't dare to be too presumptuous. If anyone else dared to talk to Fan Huaruoxiu like this, Fan Huaruoxiu's subordinates would have all swarmed in, but the person opposite was Jian Yu. Those subordinates all looked cowardly. Yesterday, Zhao Hongli brought so many people with him and had several layers of buffs, but they were all left in their pants by Lin Xiaoxiu. They didn't want to follow in Zhao Hongli's footsteps. Fan Huaruoxiu gritted her teeth and said, "Then what do you want to do with me now? Do you even want to snatch my boss? Don't go too far." Lin Xiao said, "Don't worry, I won't take the initiative to steal your boss today, I will just wait for you to beg me to steal it." Fan Huaruoxiu said, "Then I'm afraid I will disappoint you. I have already prepared single defense equipment for everyone. Today I will definitely successfully clear the Yanjun copy in advance. Just wait. Sooner or later I will let you look at me." Lin Xiao's lips curled up, "Well, I'll wait." Fan Huaruoxiu stamped her feet and left with her men. The two sides did not make a move, and the men all secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Soon, the flowers and snow came to a bamboo forest, with one bamboo forest on the east and one on the west. The towers and pavilions in the forest were dilapidated, obviously no one had lived there for a long time, and the stone flats in the forest were covered with weeds. The waste swayed in the wind, and the sofa made a sound. Just when Fan Huaruoxiu and the others were carefully searching for traces of the Lich King Calista, suddenly, a sinister smile suddenly spread among the bamboo forest. Originally, in this city of the dead, hearing this kind of weird laughter in the middle of the night was scary enough, but unexpectedly, there was also a dinosaur-like roar coming from the bamboo forest. What's going on? Just when everyone was in panic, there was a sound of poisonous gas spraying, and an extremely ugly old man appeared to the east of the crowd. The strange old man had a hunched body and looked like a corrupt zombie, with blackened lips and sharp lips. His teeth and mouth were constantly flowing with black saliva, and he was carrying a poison bucket on his back, and the poison bucket was constantly spraying poisonous mist. With another roar, a Cambrian dragon more than 5 meters high appeared to the west of everyone. The scales on the Cambrian dragon's body were like steel armor, and its eyes were pure black, as if there were only 2 empty eye sockets. Every time it roaring, a large amount of black mist will be sprayed out from the mouth, and the stench is extremely fishy. Fan Huoruoxia was dumbfounded. How come there are 2 bosses here? Why is there no prompt at all in the taskbar? This is where Yan Junling's trick lies. Yan Junling suggested that they go to King Ping Ping. King Ping Ping gave them a task to kill the boss. It seemed very simple, but King Ping Ping did not remind them. In fact, the boss they wanted to kill, there is a super battle pet, so what they actually want to kill are 2 boss. This, what to do? Both of them are level 20 quasi-gold bosses, and the highest one among us is only level 15. How can we fight this? No wonder Jian Yu just told us not to change into single defense equipment. It turns out that he already knew about it. He came here specifically to remind us kindly. It's a pity that Ruoxia didn't appreciate it and scolded others, and others just stopped talking. Now we are really in trouble. Shut up, everyone. Fan Huoruoxia said with a livid face, please take a closer look at their attributes and prepare for war. Women are like this, she can be wrong, but you can never say she is wrong, otherwise, she will be very angry. Especially when this woman is your boss, you will be the unlucky one. Although she knew that there was no way she could win 2 quasi-gold bosses, Fan Huoruoxia had no choice. Now she could only choose to take on this wave of team battles. He, so many beauties are coming to my door, I'm really going to be tired tonight. Lich King Kalista let out a disgusting evil smile. His eyes were always staring at the female players in the team. The evil meaning in his eyes was self-evident, especially when he saw the flowers and snow. The disgusting saliva flowed faster. Is it wrong? Are the bosses in this game talking so disgustingly now? Old CP, what are you thinking about? It's just a game. Could it be that you really want to do something to us beauties? Forget it, what nonsense are you talking about? Just start the fight. The worst case scenario is that if you lose, go back to the city and come back. Anyway, we have figured out the details. If we don't win this time, we will bring more master brothers later. Ha ha ha. Lich King Kalista burst out laughing wildly, you are here and you still want to leave? You guys really think too much. Tonight, I will let all the beauties experience that with a girl from what a blissful feeling it is to have men from hell having fun together. As soon as he finished speaking, the Lich King took off the poison bucket from his back and threw it towards the crowd. Bang! The black poisonous gas exploded, annihilating everyone in an instant. Although their equipment was very sophisticated, their levels were too different. In the poisonous mist, everyone's blood volume began to drop sharply. There were dense bamboo forests on both sides, making it impossible to pass through, and the 2 ends of the path were blocked. Likewise, there is no escape. Kill the Lich King. Fan Huoruoxia immediately gave the order. However, as soon as the Lich King chanted the spell, the poison bucket returned to his back. He carried the poison bucket on his back and kept releasing poison, and this time he released a pink poisonous mist. There was wind under his feet, and he ran faster and faster. Fan Huoruoxia and others couldn't catch up with him even if they were running fast, but it was impossible to retreat because there was a Cambrian dragon chasing behind. This is really a desperate situation. After a while, everyone was poisoned by the poisonous mist along the way. They were dizzy and staggered all the way. But they are not dead. The blood bars above their heads show that they all still have the last drop of blood. Fan Huoruoxia understood that it was the pink poisonous mist that forced them all to be weak. If the weak state is not relieved, it means that they are still in a fighting state. If they are not dead and are still in a fighting state, then they cannot return to the city. He. Kalista walked toward a female player with a ferocious smile. When Kalista's claw-like hands touched her smooth calves, she felt like she was struck by lightning. Only then did she realize that this game was more than just a game. Hiss! Kalista tore off her robe without mercy. The moonlight poured on her body, everything was visible to everyone, and everyone was stunned and dumbfounded. They all know that from now on, this game has begun to be infinitely close to reality, and they can no longer play this game with the attitude of playing a game. But how to solve the current dilemma? After robbing the female player, Kasista's claws extended to another female player, It seems that just as he said, he wants them all tonight. Thank you 10086111 for the gift, thank you for your support. Chapter 86. The Lich King stripped all the other female players naked and placed them neatly on a lawn. He was like a chef carefully arranging the food he made. Having fun with beautiful women was the greatest pleasure in his life. So there must be a sense of ritual. Because the combat status has not been released, they are not allowed to forcefully retreat. The beauties can only bear all this helplessly. Finally, the Lich King's eyes finally locked on the delicate body of Fan Huaruoxiu. Fan Huaruoxiu just got a set of limited edition skins and wore a thin gauze shirt. The transparent gauze scarf showed off her slender and well-fitted waist. The seductive arcs are thrilling. Originally, this set of skin was Fan Huaruoxiu's pride, but now, the Lich King's interest in her has increased several times, and Fan Huaruoxiu is really crying. In the bamboo forest not far away, Lin Xiao sat lazily on the ground, looking at everything that was happening in the field with a slightly raised corner of his mouth. Seeing the pervert approaching, Fan Huaruoxiu finally thought of Lin Xiao. She quickly opened her friend list and discovered to her surprise that Lin Xiao was less than 100 meters away from her. As if seeing a life-saving straw in despair, Fan Huaruoxiu quickly sent a message to Lin Xiao asking for help. Master, I was wrong. I will never act recklessly in front of you again. Save me, and I will promise you anything, okay? However, Lin Xiao didn't read her distress message at all. Fan Huaruoxiu was so anxious that she simply shouted, Great God! Come out quickly, I really know my mistake. Do you really have the heart to see me doomed? Even Sister Hong couldn't help but said, Aren't you going to take action? Lin Xiao asked back, Why should I take action? Sister Hong was stunned, then why are you following me? Isn't it because you care about her? So. Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, It seems that you still like to doubt what I say. I have already said that I am here to gain benefits. It is difficult to persuade me to do things that are not beneficial. Benefit? 2 quasi-gold boss are not considered a benefit. It counts, but I'm very greedy and I want more benefits. More benefits? What are they? The tyrannical Cambrian dragon. The tyrannical Cambrosaurus. What is it? Every night in Fengde City, there will be a spectacle of green clouds covering the moon. At this time, the Cambrian dragon will briefly evolve into the tyrannical Cambrian dragon. Only by killing it at that time will you get the best benefits. This is just like raising pigs. Only by fattening pigs and then killing them can you get the highest profit. The same goes for boss. This is what Lin Xiao is waiting for. But, when will the spectacle of blue clouds covering the moon appear? I don't know, random. Random? Then if the miracle doesn't happen, they will be. I have kindly reminded them once. For an insignificant person, I can do this to the best of my kindness. If you want to be a holy mother, you can save them now. Sister Hong glanced at the Lich King's attributes. Kalista the Lich King, a corrupt and undying evil satyr. Level 20 grade quasi-gold HP 210000 physical defense 8100 legal defense 9000 poison spell power, 13500 skills, precision bombing, ruthless hugging, wind riding acceleration, infinite poison gas. Precision bombing, throw a poison barrel at the target location. After the poison barrel explodes, it will release a large amount of poison gas, causing huge poisonous injuries to the enemy. Ruthless hug and throw, for close enemies, directly pick up and throw them to the ground. The fallen enemy will not be able to get up within 2 seconds. Wind Rider acceleration, instantly increase movement speed by 150%, and increase to 300% when attacked. Unlimited poisonous gas, the Lich King's poisonous gas barrel can release various poisonous gases indefinitely. The poisonous gas released will stay for 3 seconds. All enemies in the poisonous gas will suffer various poisonous injuries until the poisonous gas disappears. After reading the attributes, Sister Hong shut up obediently. Since you don't want to be a holy mother, then don't ask me to be one. After saying that, Lin Xiao simply closed his eyes. Sister Hong took a breath of cold air and finally smiled bitterly. Even Lin Xiao, a top goddess like Fan Huaruoxiu, could be so ruthless. Thinking about how she had been so ruthless before. I have always firmly believed that with my own strength, I can definitely make Lin Xiao confused, which is indeed quite ridiculous. Lich King Kalista came to Fan Huaruoxiu. Because of her weakness, Fan Huaruoxiu lay weakly, with eyes like a frightened deer, looking at the disgusting face of a corrupt zombie. It's really the best. Lich King Kalista called excitedly and stretched out his trembling hands. The soft body of the flower is as soft as snow, and a woman's unique body fragrance wafts out, which is intoxicating. His heart was burning, and he couldn't wait to press his burning lips towards Fan Huaruoxiu's chest. The delicate body of a top beauty, the disgusting lips of a corrupt monster. Seeing this scene, even Sister Hong couldn't help but feel her scalp numb. Lin Xiao was still concentrating with his eyes closed, but the faces of Fan Huaruoxiu's subordinates were all flushed with excitement. Perhaps, this was their true thoughts in their hearts. But, just when Kalista's disgusting lips were about to kiss to the wonderful peak of flowers and snow, suddenly, a thunder suddenly sounded in the sky. Even Kalista was so startled that he quickly raised his head and saw a group of dark clouds suddenly bursting out of the night sky. Blue lightning flashed continuously from the dark clouds. After a few flashes of lightning, the dark clouds turned into the pale blue clouds covered the bright moon like hellfire. The pale blue electric light gathered more and more, and soon covered all the stars. The entire night sky flashed with a miserable blue electric light, and Fengdu City, which was already extremely weird, became more and more like a doomsday hell. Roar! 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 The Cambrian dragon roared at the night sky, and its body soon turned into a miserable blue color. A beam of lightning roared down from the 9 heavens. The Cambrian dragon caught the beam of lightning, and immediately, its body was flashed. Wrapped in on, the idea above his head also turned into a violent Cambrian dragon. The tyrannical Cambrian dragon, a violent dragon that has acquired a temporary mutation. It is not recommended that players challenge it in this state. Level 20 Grade Quasi Gold HP 215000 Physical Defense 7900 Legal Defense 9200 Attack Power 6500 Violent State plus 4500 Skills Violent Roar, Brutal Trampling, Invisible Electric Light. Violent Roar makes a terrifying roar, causing sonic attacks to all enemies within 30 meters. In the violent state, the attacked enemies will be weakened for 3 seconds, and their attack power and movement speed will be reduced by 50%. Brutal Trample, every time Cambrian Dragon tramples the ground, it will cause shock waves on the ground. The shock waves will cause shock damage to all enemies within a radius of 30 meters, every 4 shocks in the brutal state can stun the enemy for 2 seconds. Invisible Electric Light, the Cambrian Dragon will release the electric light on its body every second, causing lightning magic damage to the enemy. In the violent state, the electric light is cast without any forward movement, making the enemy unpredictable. Seeing this kind of attribute, Sister Hong couldn't help but tremble at the corner of her mouth. Sure enough, the Cambrian dragon in the violent state is at 2 levels from the ordinary Cambrian dragon. Not to mention the various skills and extra attributes, it's just the basic attack. The power has been stacked up to over 10,000. Sister Hong said tremblingly, "Are you sure now is the best time for you to take action? The author has something to say, thanks to Mr. Wolong, Wuchen and a friend whose ID is an icon for sending the reward gifts. Thank you for your support. Thanks to _153896000 for sending the big gift package of reminders. Thank you boss. The boss is so generous. Thank you." Chapter 87. Lin Xiao's mouth showed a satisfied and playful smile. Yes, only the current profit is the highest, so it is now. Sister Hong understands that when Lin Xiao chooses the time to fight, he does not prioritize the attributes of the boss like other players do. What he prioritizes is how to maximize his own profits. Sure enough, the thoughts of the great god are not something that ordinary people can figure out. If the realm is different, then everything is different. Stop barking. UBD, get out of here. The tyrannical Cambrian dragon kept roaring up to the sky, which greatly affected the Lich King's elegance. He roared and tried to drive away his pet. Now that he has so many beauties to enjoy, he has already become itchy. The tyrannical Cambrian dragon stopped roaring and was about to leave, but at this moment, Lin Xiao appeared. Seeing Lin Xiao, Fan Huaruoxiu cried with joy, but her subordinates started muttering together. "Did you make a mistake? If you didn't come just now, you had to wait for this Tyrannosaurus to upgrade before coming. Isn't this asking for trouble? Even if he couldn't come just now, it's better to wait a little longer now. This Tyrannosaurus is going to leave soon. He has to choose this time to jump out. What is he thinking in his heart? Without even the most basic sense of the game, I really don't understand how he became the first king of Santa Cassia." Hearing the mutterings of his subordinates, the fire of hope that Fan Huaruoxiu had just raised was extinguished in an instant. Yes, these are two quasi-golden bosses, and their skills are super abnormal. The Tyrannosaurus just now basically has none. Taking action, just one Lich King wiped out their entire army. What's more, now that the Tyrannosaurus has been upgraded, can Lin Xiao really save her? After all, Fan Huaruoxiu is also a top operator. She couldn't think carefully about what happened suddenly before. Now she recalled it carefully in her heart. She suddenly discovered that the combination of the Lich King and the tyrannical Cambrian dragon is unsolvable. Because, if you don't kill the Lich King first, his poisonous gas is a deadly weapon. If you really want to kill the Lich King, it is basically impossible to catch up with his acceleration, and the poisonous gas along the way will fatally consume the pursuer, coupled with the brutality the Cambrian dragon is driving behind, and the challenger has no way to retreat. This is how they were defeated just now. This is an unsolvable equation. At least none of the players in the server can solve it, including Lin Xiao. Although their discussions were very quiet, Lin Xiao's ears were particularly good and he listened to every word. Lin Xiao smiled coldly, strode forward and at the same time raised the newly acquired Kingslayer blade in his hand arrogantly. Calista let go of the flowers and snow and went to greet them. The corner of Calista's mouth once again revealed his iconic grin. I've seen a lot of idiots, but this is the first time I've seen an idiot like you. Without saying a word, Lin Xiao continued to step forward, and Calista also pulled out the cork of his poison gas barrel. Chi, the poisonous gas began to spray out again, and the pungent poisonous mist floated everywhere he walked along the way. He has infinite poisonous gas, and no matter how long the battle lasts, the poisonous gas will not stop. The tyrannical Cambrian dragon turned around and aimed at Lin Xiao. There was no more words from both sides, because Lin Xiao had already taken action. Skyfire Crazy Dragon. The Skyfire Crazy Dragon was far away. After the fire dragon passed through the tyrannical Cambrian dragon, it hit Calista again. HP 7998. HP 8100. The Kingslayer's blade is really domineering, and the initial attack directly dealt 8000 plus damage. And while the fire dragon was still flying, Lin Xiao attacked again seamlessly. Blade Assault. Lin Xiao rushed forward and gave the violent Cambrian dragon a violent slash. HP 8420. The moment Lin Xiao landed, another gust of wind swept towards the Lich King who was speeding up. Face Hey 8. HP 8356. Flying Chop. Lin Xiao followed up with a flying slash in seconds. HP 8796. The moment Lin Xiao flew towards the Lich King, the violent Cambrian dragon let out a violent roar. Unfortunately, Lin Xiao's attack speed was extremely fast, and it was still a step slower after all. But the Lich King's speed was not bad either. As soon as Lin Xiao's flying slash dealt damage, he was immediately hugged and thrown mercilessly by him before he hit the ground. As a result, Lin Xiao lost 3200 HP and was trapped on the ground, unable to get up. Everyone saw this scene and shook their heads in disappointment. It was really not a wise move for Lin Xiao to catch the flying chop this time. Even if they knew that the Lich King had the ability to hug and throw, it was absolutely impossible. Greedy to pick up the flying chop this time. Covered by violent roars, only the third time will he be weakened and thrown down. This is a hard control skill. Even novice players know that when fighting against a boss, they must not take advantage of the control. Why doesn't Lin Xiao not understand such a simple truth? It seems that even great gods will make mistakes. Let's not be too obsessed with great gods. However, did Lin Xiao really make a mistake? Maybe the whole world thinks so, but Lin Xiao doesn't think so. Great Destruction. Lin Xiao immediately evolved into a demon form, forcibly released the control, and strengthened his attack. Blade Assault. Although the Lich King accelerated his retreat, no matter how fast he retreated, it could not be faster than the rush skill. Lin Xiao's slashing attack consumed the Lich King's 10,000 health points. The Lich King moved super fast. After receiving a blow from Lin Xiao, he continued to run without looking back. The tyrannical Cambrian dragon also pursued him. Lin Xiao fell into the same situation as Fan Huaruoxiu and the others just now. There are pursuers behind, but it is difficult for the enemy in front to catch up. The same situation, but Lin Xiao and their choices were completely different. Fearless Wind Wall. Lin Xiao swept out a wall of wind between them, completely blocking them off. He didn't foolishly chase an impossible enemy like Fan Huaruoxiu and others. If he was led by someone like that, he would only be consumed by poisonous gas in vain. The key to defeating this pair is to separate them. Come on, the Lich King likes to run, so let him run. As long as he attacks his pet, he will naturally come back obediently. Lin Xiao deliberately withstood that throw because he knew that after the Lich King threw his opponent, he would immediately accelerate the gas release and retreat. In this way, he would have the opportunity to separate the two of them. Although Fan Huoruoxiu and the others don't have Lin Xiao's wind wall, they can actually separate the Lich King and the Cambrian Dragon. They only need to send a few long-range professions to chase the Lich King. The skills of the long-range professions are all super long-range, and the poisonous gas of the Lich King can only stay in the air for 3 seconds. They can stand outside the damage range of the poisonous gas. Casting skills can drive the Lich King away step by step. They don't need to catch up or kill the Lich King. They just need to gain enough space for the main force behind them to kill Han with all their strength. Wulong is enough. It's a pity that none of them can understand such a simple truth. Fan Huaruoxiu said that they would pursue the Lich King with all their strength, and they all pursued the Lich King in the face of poisonous gas. Isn't this a fool? Sure enough, the Lich King was stunned when he saw that Lin Xiao had not been fooled and caught up with him. Fan Huoruoxiu thought that this combination was unsolvable before, but now that she saw Lin Xiao's operation, her head suddenly pounded, and she suddenly understood. And other people finally understood why Lin Xiao had to take the risk of being hugged and thrown by the Lich King just now. Sure enough, the master's understanding of the game is not something that people like them can understand, because they are not mature enough. Now Lin Xiao officially announced that this duel has completely entered his rhythm. Thank you, Time of Death, for the great gift. Although this book is not top-notch in early recommendations, I believe that with everyone's support, this book will definitely become a hit in the future. Thank you all again. Chapter 88. Boom. 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 The ground trembled and cracked. The tyrannical Cambrian dragon began to trample wildly towards Lin Xiao. Every time it took a step, the ground would tremble and crack with a burst of exploding light. The exploding light was so dense that it was almost incomprehensible. Can be dodged. At the other end of the wind wall, the Lich King also turned back and threw his poison gas barrel towards Lin Xiao. Precision bombing. Lin Xiao made a decisive decision and immediately counterattacked. 100 steps flying sword. The lightsaber is like a dragon, passing through the body of the violent Cambrian dragon. Boom. Cambrian dragon's HP minus 11,490. The Cambrian dragon and the Lich King's poison gas barrels collided with each other through the wind wall. The poison gas barrels even bounced back from the wind wall, blowing up a lot of the Lich King's health. The shadow of the sword leaves a mark. Lin Xiao saw the opportunity and cast sword shadow as soon as he landed. He left a phantom on the spot, and his true body had already arrived behind the Lich King. Originally it was the Cambrian dragon and the Lich King who attacked Lin Xiao, but now it was Lin Xiao and his own phantom that sandwiched them between. The damage of the King Slayer blade exploded. Lin Xiao's damage exceeded 10,000 ahead of schedule. Now Lin Xiao can harvest in advance. The holy light is coming. Cambrian Dragon, HP-12500. The Lich King, HP-13400. The Lich King and the Cambrian Dragon were both shrouded in holy light and blinded instantly. They were also attacked by Lin Xiao's body and phantom with double holy light, so they suffered double the damage. Cambrian Dragon, HP-12500. The Lich King, HP-13400. The blinded Lich King and Cambrian Dragon were like loaches in muddy water, and Lin Xiao could fish in troubled waters. No one else noticed, but Fan Huoruoxiu noticed a detail, that is, Lin Xiao's body was on the same side as the Lich King at this time. The Lich King's skills are mainly cheating, but there is only one hard control skill, and it has just been used on Lin Xiao, so at least it is no longer a fear in these few seconds. The Cambrian Dragon, which really posed a threat to Lin Xiao, was blocked by the wind wall at the other end. Therefore, although its violent roar, brutal trampling, and invisible electric light were all overwhelming, none of them could hit him. From Zhong Lin Xiao. If it is reversed, the result will be completely different. If Lin Xiao's body is on the Cambrian Dragon's side, then even if the Cambrian Dragon is blinded, his 3 skills can still cause a fatal blow to Lin Xiao. I didn't expect that Lin Xiao, with such a fast attack speed, could actually take such small but fatal details into consideration. It was really terrifying. Fan Huoruoxiu took a deep breath. Although she was also a beautiful master who was loved by many players for her operation, when it came to the details of the operation, she was still far behind Lin Xiao. Cross Evil Moon Slash. Lin Xiao's body and the phantom shot together, and the sharp cross swords struck from both sides to the middle mercilessly. Slash the moon with your sword. Cambrian Dragon, HP-13500. Times 2. The Lich King, HP-14900. Times 2. Across all directions. Cambrian Dragon, HP-16700. Times 2. The Lich King, HP-17890. Times 2. Yishuian. Cambrian Dragon, HP-17700. Times 2. The Lich King, HP-18770. Times 2. Lin Xiao's attack speed was faster than the Lich King's imagination. When the blinding time was over, Lin Xiao had already caused 3 super crit hits and serious injuries to him. At this time, his blood volume had been reduced by 160,000. But he still didn't give up, because he knew that even now, he and Lin Xiao were still evenly matched, because both sides still had the chance to kill the other with one blow. Blast of Wind and Shadow Slash. With the blessing of the skin, Lin Xiao's skills cooled down very quickly, so he swept a blast of wind at the Lich King. When the strong wind swept over the Lich King and left a mark of the strong wind on the top of the Lich King's head, he dodged forward again without hesitation and received the flying slash. However, at the moment of flying, the demonic form on his body disappeared. Fan Huoruoxiu screamed, "No! Lin Xiao's great destruction is over. The end of the great annihilation means that the damage is insufficient. Lin Xiao will not be able to defeat the Lich King with this move." Lin Xiao really made a miscalculation this time and was sloppy. Fan Huoruoxiu prayed in her heart, praying that the Lich King's hug would never stop cooling down, but the Lich King was already grinning and strangling Lin Xiao in the air with both hands. Fan Huoruoxiu was in despair. Although Lin Xiao had perfected the details and showed impeccably, he still lost by 0.5 seconds. However, can Lin Xiao really make miscalculations? The answer is, it does not exist. I saw a sharp fang star suddenly appeared and hit the top of the Lich King's head. Punishing Pill Talisman. The elixir can be cast under any circumstances, and the punishment elixir can instantly destroy 10% of the enemy's health, and this was already calculated by Lin Xiao. The Lich King raised Lin Xiao with both hands, his pupils instantly enlarged, and he knelt down in response. The whole action looked like King Wu of Qin lifting the cauldron. He suddenly became deflated while holding it up, and was crushed to death by the cauldron. The Lich King looked at Lin Xiao unwillingly. "I lost unexpectedly." "Yes." Lin Xiao kicked the Lich King aside. "Now there is only one Cambrian dragon left with residual health. Even if you upgrade, so what, you will still die. Skyfire Crazy Dragon. 100 Steps Flying Sword. Blade Assault." Boom! In the roar of the tyrannical Cambrian dragon, this behemoth collapsed, and the entire bamboo forest was shaken. As soon as the Lich King died, the mark of weakness exerted by his poisonous gas also disappeared. Fan Huoruoxiu and others who were originally weak and paralyzed on the ground quickly stood up, while the beauties who had been stripped of their clothes were all blushing. They covered their faces, covered their important parts, scrambled to pick up their own clothes and equipment from the ground, and then got into the bamboo forest and quickly put them on. Several wretched male players secretly turned on the video recording function of their own games. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the Lich King Kalista. The experience value is plus 8 million, the primary experience talisman x1, the magic stone x30, and the King's Bloodwind boots x1. One elementary experience talisman is equivalent to 30 advanced experience pills. After Lin Xiao used it, the experience bar instantly increased to 25%. King's Bloodwind boots, level 20 grade, Hanjeo, legendary, HP 1023 physical defense, 662 spell defense 725 additional attributes, movement speed plus 100, can be permanently added to oneself. Other attributes are quite satisfactory, but Lin Xiao likes its extra attributes very much, because this extra attribute can be permanently added to himself. Even if Lin Xiao changes equipment, he can still retain the movement speed bonus. Then when he activates Swift Step, his movement speed will increase. It can reach 400%, which is faster than the Lich King who was attacked. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the tyrannical Cambrian dragon. The experience value is plus 10 million, the primary experience talisman times 2, the magic stone times 40, the king's benevolent bracer times 1, and the early reward card times 1. As expected of an upgraded battle pet, the prizes were indeed more generous than those of his master, but Lin Xiao was particularly interested in the last early prize card. A card to claim rewards in advance? What is this? What kind of prizes are there to receive in advance? The author has something to say. Thank you, Zhu Xian, 20359184, for sending a big gift pack of likes. Thank you. Thank you, Lingzia Xin Kong, Lamdiao Mao, for sending a big gift pack of reminder charms. Thank you two big guys for your strong support. Chapter 89. Early Reward Card. You can receive rewards from various unfinished competition activities in advance. Details of the rules. 1. If the activity itself is already leading, you can receive another activity reward in advance. This card can receive up to 2 activity rewards in advance. 2. If the event itself is not leading, or you have not participated, you can only receive 1 reward, and when the event competition officially ends, the reward will be forcibly transferred to the real winner. Lin Xiao immediately understood that this early reward card was specifically for those activities that were still in the competition period, such as Lin Xiao's current competition for the Fearless Pioneer ranking, the Single Kill King ranking, and the Starlight Carnival All-Star ranking. Single Fight. Lin Xiao is already far ahead in both the Fearless Pioneer list and the Single Kill King list. This is a list that relies on hard power, so there is very little room for other means to operate. What is certain is that there is absolutely no one in these two lists. It is possible to compete with Lin Xiao. When it comes to uploading exciting videos and voting for the Starlight Carnival event by netizens, there is a lot of room for manipulation. Many internet celebrities will choose to brush votes, or increase the number of videos a day, but Lin Xiao does not upload many, only 1 pentakill. The video, and the video of the last time I brushed the skin copy, so although each video has a huge number of likes and votes, it is currently ranked first, but the gap with the following internet celebrities is getting smaller and smaller. Therefore, if Lin Xiao wants to receive 2 rewards in advance, he can only choose from these 3 lists, and the Starlight Carnival event will be a little risky, because if at the end of the month, someone swipes more votes than Lin Xiao, then the All-Star ring that Lin Xiao received in advance will be given away. In addition, if Lin Xiao wants to receive achievement rewards such as Tianbeng Shenxia and Great Master in advance, because Lin Xiao is not currently participating in these activities, he can only receive 1. This was a very simple multiple choice question, and Lin Xiao naturally knew how to choose. Ding! You have unlocked the early reward card, please select the activity reward you want to claim in advance. Lin Xiao decisively chose the Fearless Vanguard reward. Ding! Congratulations on getting the Fearless Pioneer ring. The system has detected that you are currently ranked first on the Fearless Pioneer list, so you can receive an additional reward. So, Lin Xiao chose the Solo Kill King reward again. Ding! Congratulations on getting the Single Kill King ring. The system prompts that because you received the reward in advance, the rules of the 2 rankings have also been changed accordingly. The rules for clearing points every month remain unchanged. However, within the 1-month cycle, someone has surpassed you in points. The ring will be transferred to the new champion in advance. Lin Xiao secretly sneered. This kind of change doesn't matter to him. It's no problem. He can surpass it at any time. The question is, who can surpass it? The news that Lin Xiao received the reward in advance was immediately notified by the system to the entire server. Have you made a mistake? The current official favor of Jian Yu is not concealed. There are still 20 days before the end of the month, why should the reward be given to him in advance? That's right. What does this make us, the players who are trying so hard to catch up, think? Don't we have human rights when we rush to the street? Come on, everyone is jumping up and down with enthusiasm, right? Haven't you seen the official new rules? If you have the ability to surpass Jian Yu now, you don't have to wait until the end of the month, you can get the 2 rings back now. Question: yes, do you have this ability? Come on! Gangsters, you must believe that you can do it. I'm optimistic about you. Of course, the Gangjings knew better than anyone else that there was no way they could surpass Jian Yu, so they immediately stopped jumping to avoid humiliating themselves. Lin Xiao immediately put on the 2 new achievement rings. Fearless Vanguard ring, the reward for being promoted to the first Kill King champion. Level: none occupational requirements, none special attributes, blessing by the Wind God, incarnation of the Wind. Blessing of the Wind God, adds 100% of the basic attack power as wind damage during combat. Incarnation of Wind, when fighting and moving, wind element will be accumulated. When the wind element is full, you can transform into a wind spirit and perform a long-distance leap. Up to 5 levels of wind element can be accumulated. Nowadays, if players want to move quickly, they only have various flash and movement acceleration skills. The incarnation of wind is somewhere in between. It can move quickly and instantaneously, and the effect is better than movement acceleration, but it cannot like flash. Evasion skills are like those peerless masters of Qinggong in movies who can fly over walls and leap like the wind. However, if you encounter a master, you are likely to be hit by the skill during the leap. Single Kill King Ring, a reward for being promoted to the top of the Single Kill King list. Level, none occupational requirements, none attribute, glory kill. Glory killing is a kind of supreme glory. Once you enter the battle, your will burst with the glory in your heart, and you will get a 5-second moment of glory. During the duration of the moment of glory, the total damage caused to the enemy will be plus 20%. The total damage bonus is completely different from the basic attack power bonus. For example, Lin Xiao's basic attack power is 3700, and all bonuses are basic attack power times 7, plus the 100% wind element bonus of the Fearless Vanguard, which is the basic attack force times 8. Glory killing directly increases the total damage value, which means that Lin Xiao's attack power x8, after deducting the enemy's defense, adds 20% to the final damage. Lin Xiao's Jian Yu can only play its greatest role in the later stages. The bonus in the early stage is very small, but many boss have super thick blood. Lin Xiao probably has no chance to drag the battle to the later stage, but now there are with the blessing of the moment of glory, Lin Xiao can accelerate the reduction of the enemy's health after entering the battle. In this way, he can achieve a more powerful effect as soon as possible, and the chance of winning will be greatly improved. At this time, Lin Xiao already owned 4 achievement rings, plus 1 ordinary ring, and all the fingers of his right hand were worn. Lin Xiao's lips raised a hint of pride, and it seemed that he could consider becoming the Lord of the Rings. Let's go. Lin Xiao had already reaped the benefits he wanted to reap, so he was about to leave. Sister Hong hurriedly followed her. This woman who had been wallowing in the dust for more than 10 years was already very proud in front of Lin Xiao. Well behaved. Wait. Fan Huoruoxiu chased after her. Lin Xiao stopped and said, "Why, do you have something else to do?" Fan Huoruoxiu bit her lip, "My mission boss was killed by you." Lin Xiao sneered, "So what, I didn't steal your boss. You begged me for help, so I took action." Fan Huoruoxiu said quickly, No, that's not what I meant. I meant, can you help me kill him again? My level is too low now. Even if I know how to kill, I still can't kill him." Fan Huoruoxiu was still thinking about transitioning the task ahead of time. She wanted to finish the task before Lin Xiao, but she still wanted Lin Xiao to help her. Lin Xiao said speechlessly, "I'm not interested, I won't waste my time on anyone." The author has something to say, "Thank you, Guhiyeji and Anhao Maoan, for sending me the reminder gift. The 2 bosses are very generous. Thank you very much." "Thank you, the reader whose ID is like a flower icon for sending me the gift of inspiration capsule. Brother, you should add an ID, otherwise I don't know how to thank you, ha ha ha." Chapter 90. Fan Huoruoxiu endured it and said unwillingly, "You can't lie to me. I believe in my vision. I can see that you are not a truly heartless person. If you really don't care about me at all, then why do you? If you follow me here, why would you want to save me just now?" Lin Xiao said, "One last piece of advice, don't be too self-righteous. I'm here just to get some benefits. Moreover, if the Cambrian dragon had not been upgraded just now and failed to meet my expectations, then I would not take action at all. Will you? I really don't care about being insulted by that old monster, so you don't need to thank me for saving you. If you want to thank me, just thank that Tyrannosaurus." Fan Huoruoxiu was dumbfounded and stayed in place. Lin Xiao turned around and left, and Sister Hong followed obediently again. On the way, Sister Hong said cautiously, "Actually, the time when the clouds cover the moon is not random, right? In fact, you have already calculated that the Cambrian dragon will be upgraded soon. In fact, you just don't want to get into trouble with her, so you deliberately to act so ruthless, is that right?" Lin Xiao said coldly, "Actually, I should hand you over to Zhao Hongli and let him deal with you, so that you won't be nagging in front of me." Sister Hong was startled and quickly shut up. Her look made Lin Xiao couldn't help but find it funny, so he said, if I hadn't spoken to Zhao Hongli, what would he have done to you? Sister Hong smiled bitterly and said, he will send me to the Philippines to pick up guests. He is different from you. He is a truly ruthless scumbag. Lin Xiao said, what about Qin Hao? How did he deal with Qin Hao? Sister Hong said, he is a woman now. Lin Xiao was stunned, what do you mean? Sister Hong immediately explained to Lin Xiao, and finally said, Zhao Hongli is not only a scumbag, but also a pervert. Lin Xiao breathed out speechlessly. Although he was never merciless in killing people, he would never use this method to make life worse than death. This Zhao Hongli was really... At this moment, Sister Hong joked again, Zhao Hongli specially told the doctor to transform Qin Hao into a great beauty. To be honest, if he really becomes a great beauty, then her end will be even worse. Lin Xiao pouted, yeah, I understand. With that said, Lin Xiao ended the topic and continued towards the underworld palace of the Reincarnation King. In the middle of the underworld palace of the King of Wheels is a sacred platform. Sitting on the stage is a dark-faced Yama wearing the robe of Yama. He is the King of Reincarnation. On both sides of His Highness, a group of ghosts were executing the mutated White Walkers, cutting them, frying them, digging out their hearts, and skinning them, which was very cruel. The screams of the White Walkers, the squeaking sound of frying, the sound of saws tearing bones, and the flowing blood, heads being chopped off and rolling to the ground. Although it was a game, the pictures were absolutely real. Sister Hong was frightened when she saw it, but Lin Xiao had already walked through hell, so this scene in hell could not shake his heart. The suspended hell fires on the top of the palace suddenly moved, fluttering up and down, left and right, and flickering bright and dark, which was very strange. The Wheel King then opened his eyes. You really know the rules. You know that when you come to my place, you must bring a woman as a sacrifice. I'm very surprised. No one has ever come to my place. How do you know that I have this rule? When Sister Hong heard this, she trembled with fright and looked at Lin Xiao blankly. It turned out that Lin Xiao had been taking her with him just to use her as a sacrifice. She very much hoped that Lin Xiao would say no, but Lin Xiao coldly didn't even look at her, but said to the King of Wheels, how I know it doesn't matter, now that I'm here, you can assign tasks to me. The King of Wheels said, since you know the rules here, you should also know what my requirements for sacrifices are, right? Lin Xiao said solemnly, well, the sacrifice must be voluntary. After saying that, Lin Xiao turned to Sister Hong, listen, you have two choices now. One is to leave here immediately. I will let Zhao Hongli let you go. You can probably live a stable life for a while, and then wait for the end of the world. Come, die without a burial place. Sister Hong's face was completely stiff. Lin Xiao continued, the second is to fight with me. You stay here for the time being, and I will go through the tribulation. When my mission is completed, you don't need to make sacrifices, and you can recover your SSS level talents. That way, you will have a chance to enter the kingdom of God and escape death. Sister Hong endured it for a long time before saying, what if you fail? Lin Xiao said, if I fail, you will no longer be able to exit the game, that is, you will be completely sealed. Your body will slowly die in the real world, and your soul will remain in the seal until the King Salamander changes. At that time, your soul will no longer exist. In the final analysis, it is the difference between dying after a while or dying immediately. Sister Hong said tremblingly, how sure are you of success? Lin Xiao was not 100% sure to answer her question, because the mission of the King of Wheels to overcome the tribulation was very abnormal. First of all, he was not like other lords of hell, who allowed players to come back later when their level was higher. Anyone whose level was over level 20 players cannot receive tasks from him. In the previous life, according to unofficial statistics, at least more than 1,000 beauties were trapped and died here. Most of those beauties were gold-worshipping women who believed too much in the strength of their wealthy boyfriends. As a result. Secondly, the mission of the King of Wheels is not fixed. Perhaps, even Lin Xiao has not heard of the mission he has assigned to Lin Xiao now. Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, don't ask such meaningless questions. Even if I am 99.9% sure, you still have a 0.1% chance of dying here. It all depends on your own choice. Sister Hong smiled miserably and said, why don't you lie to me? If you said you would succeed, I would agree without hesitation. Lin Xiao didn't want to lie to Sister Hong, because in his last life, he had encountered a similar situation to today. It was the eve of when he was about to reach the top of the server. The girl who teamed up with him trusted him extremely, and he lived up to the girl's trust and successfully completed the task. Unfortunately, some things are always unexpected. Although Lin Xiao did not fail, the girl was still permanently sealed in the ghost world, and that girl was his landlord, Xia Min. Because of this incident, Lin Xiao felt guilty for a long time. Fortunately, God gave him a chance to start over again. Therefore, in this life, Lin Xiao was extra generous to Xia Min. He vowed that no matter what, he would never take risks with Xia Min again. So Sister Hong became his best bet. Sister Hong sighed and smiled miserably, "I'm so stupid, I'm still hesitating. In fact, if you can't save me, then no one in this world can save me. In this case, I have nothing to hesitate about." After saying that, Sister Hong said loudly to Lun Xuanwang, "I voluntarily stay, you can assign tasks to him." Hello everyone, I am the author Jian Lin. I just received a notice saying that if I start with the content in brackets, every reader can receive this chapter review. Hehehe, I am not sure if it is true. Let me try to see how many notifications are received from the app. Chapter 91. The King of Wheels said in a deep voice, "Are you sure you want to leave your destiny in the hands of this man?" Sister Hong said in an unquestionable tone, "Yes." The Wheel King sneered, "You are the first stupid woman to come to me, but you are definitely not the last. Ghost-faced priest, I think we can prepare an altar for her in advance." Sister Hong smiled and said, "Well, it is indeed possible to prepare an altar. Although I can't use it, there must be other women who can use it." Sister Hong has completely relaxed. Since she has chosen to believe in Lin Xiao, she must have absolute confidence in Lin Xiao. "Humph, I hope it will be as you wish." As he said this, the wheel-turning king waved his hand, and a ghost-faced priest walked up with a sinister smile. He was holding an oil lamp in his hand. He put the oil lamp on the stage and lit it. A miserable blue flame was emitted, and a shrill and distant howl of a ghost immediately sounded. The Wheel King sneered, "The lamp oil of this underworld lamp is made from the corpse oil of a strange ghost. When the lamp oil burns, it will not only consume the lamp oil, but also roast its powerful soul. This strange ghost is so weak. Like a sick chicken, its powerful soul may be burned away in the next second, and the lights will go out. If you haven't completed the task by then you will lose." Sister Hong's face changed, "You haven't said what the mission is yet. You've just lit the lamp oil now. This is unfair." The Wheel King's face sank, "The strong make the rules, and the weak obey the rules. There is nothing more fair in this world. Even he dare not say it is unfair, so you are even less qualified." Sister Hong was dumbfounded, but Lin Xiao still looked calm. "Tell me, what is my mission?" The King of Wheels did not answer Lin Xiao, but said to the oil lamp with a ferocious smile, "Tell me, what is your last wish?" It turned out that the mission was not from the rotating king faction, but from the White Walkers in the oil lamp. No wonder he had to light the oil lamp first. The ghost stopped howling miserably and said intermittently, "My name is Suji. I was infatuated with a beautiful evil spirit named Gasolanruo, so I voluntarily chose to be a white ghost full of evil. I know I deserve to die. I have no regrets. I only have one wish now. I hope you can go to Gasa City and help me see if she really has a lotus mark on her private parts. If so, please tell her for me that I really love her. She brought her jade pendant back to be buried with me." The Wheel King laughed loudly, "Ha ha ha, you can complete the task just by looking at the private parts of a beautiful evil spirit. Jian Yu, your luck is really extraordinary. It seems that you are sure to win." But Lin Xiao was not so naive. He said solemnly, "What if not?" Suji's voice immediately became vicious, "Then FK her to death. Treat her as the worst woman in the world, and use the most perverted method to FK her to death." Lin Xiao was really speechless. Although he had rich experience, he had never taken on such a perverted task. Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, "I'll just kill her for you. This is the limit of what I can do." But Suji said with a cruel smile, "No, if she cheated on me, then I will definitely use the most vicious method to retaliate against her." The psychology of the White Walkers is very abnormal, Lin Xiao knows this. You cannot communicate with them using normal people's thinking. Suji added, "Don't try to lie to me, because as long as you accept this task, my consciousness will be attached to you. No matter where you are or what you do, I can see and hear you. So, don't play tricks on me. Lin Xiao was about to speak again, but the King of Wheels interrupted him. If I were you, I would set off for Gasui City now. I said this White Walker is just like a sick chicken. It won't last long. Now that Sister Hong's life is tied to him, Lin Xiao has no room for consideration, so he sighs, give me 2 teleportation scrolls. I think you won't refuse me this request. There is no teleportation point in the copy of Yanjun. If you really cross the river Styx to Gasui City, it will be so cold that the daylily will be cold. King of Wheels is very generous. With a wave of his hand, the ghost-faced priest came up and handed Lin Xiao 2 teleportations. Real. Lin Xiao did not dare to delay and glanced at Sister Hong. Sister Hong forced out a smile. Lin Xiao did not say anything, and then used a teleportation scroll to teleport to Gasui City. Gasui City was once a prosperous city, not inferior to True Dragon City at all, but now, it has become a stronghold for evil spirits and ghosts. Under the broken city wall, countless blood-sucking armored leopards roamed. Anyone who dared to approach the city wall would be besieged by them. Lin Xiao had never been to Gasui City before, and no player had ever taken up this mission. So, this time, Lin Xiao also had to face a new challenge. Although these blood-sucking armored leopards are peripheral gatekeeper monsters, they are all enhanced wild monsters, and their attributes are not inferior to those of the dungeon monsters. Therefore, Lin Xiao can be sure that the entire Gasui City is an open dungeon. Lin Xiao started to move quickly. Because the new shoes increased his movement speed by 100%, Lin Xiao's speed reached 400% as soon as he started running. The super high movement speed quickly increased his wind incarnation attributes, and soon he had a full layer of wind element. Lin Xiao led all the blood-sucking armored leopards into the city gate cave. Skyfire Crazy Dragon. A fire dragon penetrated the entire passage, and all the blood-sucking armored leopards were killed on the spot. Immediately, the entire Gasui City sounded the horn siren made of rhinoceros horns. Countless orangutan-eyed zombies, mutated vipers, corpse-killing cultists, and other elite wild monsters suddenly appeared on the streets in all directions. Lin Xiao frowned. He did not expect that the dungeon mechanism of Gasui City would have such rules. In other dungeons, after players enter, they can swipe wherever they go. When encountering some bosses that are difficult to fight, there is a certain chance of a detour. But this Gasui City was completely different. Lin Xiao just killed a group of peripheral wild monsters, stepped into the city, and immediately fell into a city-wide siege. Slash the moon with your sword. Across all directions. Blast of wind and shadow slash. Lin Xiao was firing on all cylinders. He had just received 2 achievement rings, and the damage at this time had reached another level. These elite monsters in the copy were no different from chopping cabbage in front of him. All kinds of elite white ghosts emerged like a tide, sending Lin Xiao a lot of equipment, gold coins, and experience. This was a paradise for leveling up. However, Lin Xiao was not happy at all, because he was not here to level up. Level. If these wild monsters continued continuously, then he really didn't know how long it would take before he could reach the central palace city. The holy light is coming. In the white light, Lin Xiao's figure flashed up. He activated the incarnation of wind and jumped up to the roof. The wild monsters on the street suddenly lost their target and started searching everywhere. Whoosh! 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 Lin Xiao's figure flew across the eaves of the high buildings in the city, crossing all the streets. In the end, he even used the flash and the 100 steps flying sword, and finally went straight to the central palace city. Thanks to the 3 big guys, Su Yat, No, and Fen Yin, for sending gifts and rewards. If I remember correctly, it seems that these 3 are big guys who have given rewards many times. Thank you twice as much. Chapter 92. Soon, several more corpse exorcists discovered Lin Xiao. Immediately, the city's rhino horns sounded again, and all the wild monsters rushed towards the central city. Lin Xiao's expression was indifferent as he stepped into the central palace city. After the wild monsters rushed to the gate of the palace city, they all stopped. They did not dare to cross the palace gate. It seemed that the palace gate was the gate of hell. After that, you will fall into hell and never recover. But Lin Xiao didn't care. The hem of his dazzling fashion clothes streaked across the blue stone floor of the palace city. The blue stone floor was covered with mottled and dried blood stains. The blood stains had merged with the blue stone floor and could never be washed away. The entire palace city was deserted, and the silence was terrifying. Lin Xiao opened the divine eye of the void, and soon, he discovered a secret passage under a withered locust tree that had lost a single leaf. There is actually a cave entrance hidden under this ghost locust tree that no one cares about. If Lin Xiao didn't have the divine eye of the void, it would be extremely difficult to find it. After the mechanism at the entrance of the cave was opened, a long stone staircase appeared, leading to the bottomless underground. Lin Xiao's eyes flashed with a sharp light. He knew that the person he was looking for must be down there. Although the mission failed, he could still pick up other Yan Zhen's missions to overcome the tribulation, but Sister Hong would be doomed. Sister Hong, you are right, he is not an absolutely ruthless person, so he will do everything he can to complete this mission. He didn't know how much time he had left, so he stepped onto the stone steps without hesitation. The tunnel was very deep, and it got colder as he went down. When he reached the end of the stone steps, it was like entering the cold winter in the north. It was so cold. Lin Xiao felt a little chilly. Originally, there were many luminous pearls on the stone walls of the underground palace, but at this moment, all the luminous pearls disappeared, and the entire underground palace fell into darkness. Fortunately, Lin Xiao has the divine eye of the void, so even in absolute darkness, he can see everything clearly like a night vision goggle. A viscous liquid began to cover the soles of his feet. Lin Xiao lowered his head and saw that it was blood. The bright red blood was like underground water flowing, and began to engulf the entire underground palace. Soon, it was covered with his calves. Skyfire Crazy Dragon. Lin Xiao stabbed out with his sword, and the fire dragon raged through the blood pool. Dozens of python-like vines immediately sprung up from under the blood pool. They lit on fire, fluttered a few times, and then fell back into the blood pool. Ding! Kill the blood snake vine, experience plus 10,300, gold coins plus 600. Ding! Kill the blood snake vine, experience value plus 10,300, Fearless Bow times 1. Ding! Kill the blood snake vine, experience value plus 10,300, Lion Slaying Armor x1. The income is very average, because these blood snake vines only strengthen wild monsters, but they are different from other strengthened wild monsters in that they are controlled. They lurk under the blood pool and approach the opponent quietly, making it difficult for the opponent to notice. Once entangled by them, they will be entangled and trapped, unable to move. Even if ordinary players can survive temporarily, they will definitely die when the boss appears. It's a pity that Lin Xiao is not an ordinary player. The lurking of these blood snake vines can be seen clearly in Lin Xiao's eyes. Their so-called sneak attacks are nothing more than a joke in Lin Xiao's opinion. Hey! A strange voice came from the depths of the underground palace. As this voice sounded, the blood that had covered Lin Xiao's calf receded instantly like an ebbing tide. The blood snake vine, which was hidden under the blood and was preparing to launch a second wave of attacks, also disappeared with the retreating blood tide. Trace! The night pearls on the stone walls on both sides lit up again, the darkness was dispelled, and the underground palace suddenly became much more peaceful. Since your excellency is here, don't waste time, come in and sit down. At the end of the underground palace, the strange sound sounded again, and the stone door at the end suddenly opened, and an even more biting chill poured out of it. Don't worry, I've seen your strength. I won't use the little tricks just now to make you laugh. You can come in. So, Lin Xiao quickened his pace, and after entering the door, he finally saw the owner of this underground palace. It was the beautiful evil spirit Suji mentioned, Gasolan Ruo. The stone door quickly closed again, and the whole stone room was bone-chillingly cold, but Gasolan Ruo was not wearing anything. However, this did not mean that Lin Xiao could see the place he wanted to see, because several blood snake vines stretched out from Gasolan Ruo's back. Blood-red flowers bloomed on those vines. The flowers cleverly covered all the places that Lin Xiao should not see. Lin Xiao's lips curled up in embarrassment. She is indeed worthy of Suji's praise. She is really beautiful, and her beauty is very evil. This evil fills her eyes, smile, and even every pore. There was nothing in the stone room, not even tables, chairs, or benches. Lin Xiao was really curious about how Gasolan Ruo lived here. But soon, he understood. Gasolan Ruo, who was standing upright, suddenly sat down, and several blood snake vines automatically stretched out from her back, weaving a wicker chair to hold her firmly. Then, Gasolan Ruo spoke, "Your Excellency, you came to me. What's the matter?" Lin Xiao said, "There is something wrong with being entrusted by others." Gasolan Ruo smiled and said, "Oh, Really? Come and listen. Lin Xiao said, there is a white walker named Suji, do you still remember? He was bewitched by you and voluntarily became a white walker. Gasolanruo chuckled and said, oh, remember, what's wrong? Lin Xiao said, he is going to die soon, so he wants to know if there is a lotus mark on your. Ha ha ha. Gasolanruo laughed, this idiot is really cute and stupid. Lin Xiao said solemnly, I don't have much time, just give me the answer. Gasolanruo was not anxious at all. Half a year ago, my men captured a group of men to feed me, and one of them was Suji. Seeing that everyone else died under my blood snake vine, he was not afraid at all and even asked me if I was Sister Shui who lived next door to his house 10 years ago. It turned out that he saw the jade pendant hanging around my neck. It was a family heirloom of his sister Shui. Hey, that idiot, I told him that I was not the one anymore. I said that his sister Shui had died long ago before me. But he just didn't believe it and said that he had secretly watched his sister Shui take a bath when she was a child, so he knew that his sister Shui had a lotus mark there. He had to let me show him before he gave up. What a joke! How could I give him such an opportunity to take advantage? If I gave him the opportunity to get out and he didn't cherish it, then I would simply turn him into a white walker that would be worse than death. Wow, I didn't expect that he would not give up now even though he is about to die. Tisk tisk tisk, it's really interesting. Lin Xiao stared at Gasolanruo and was silent for a long time. His sixth sense told him that Suji's consciousness was staring at him at this time. Lin Xiao had no choice but to let out a long sigh and finally said, I understand, if this is the case, then I will help you get rid of it. Thank you, Mensueto, 11162813, Mpope, for sending inspiration capsule rewards, and like and thank you to the super caring bosses. Thanks, Sui, Silent Reading, the two big bosses for their continued rewards, and continue to provide big bosses with rewards. Click the like button like crazy. Thank you Leadu for the like gift, thank you boss. Chapter 93. Lin Xiao didn't say another word and took action directly. Cross Evil Moon Slash. Lin Xiao's shot was very fast, and both sword lights hit. Slash the moon with your sword. HP-10800. Across all directions. HP-13900. Because of the glorious killing blessing of the single kill ring, Lin Xiao directly dealt over 10,000 damage as soon as the battle began. However, the duration of the glory kill is only 5 seconds, so Lin Xiao must hurry up. Phew! 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 More than 10 blood snake vines suddenly shot out from Gasolanruo's back. Those vines were covered with thorns, and at the front were terrifying venomous snake heads. They surrounded Lin Xiao, who activated his swift steps and at the same time activated the incarnation of wind and transformed into a wind spirit. Whoosh! Lin Xiao rushed out of the encirclement from a very tricky angle. At the same time, he quickly glanced at Gasolanruo's attributes in the air. Just now he had been unable to see Gasolanruo's attributes. He knew that Gasolanruo was not the real one. Sure enough, as he expected after taking action, the real boss was a snake vine troll parasitic in her body. The soaring snake troll, a perverted evil demon that specifically lives in the body of beautiful women. Level 21 grade, Gold HP 255000, Physical Defense 10100, Legal Defense 10980, Attack Power 6099, Continuous Growth, Non-Fixed. The more blood snake vines produced, the higher the attack, up to 10,000. Skills, Blood Snake Dance, Vine Shield, Withered Soil. Dance of Blood Snakes, the soaring snake troll will continuously grow bleeding snake vines. Enemies entangled by the blood snake vines will be stabbed by the thorns on the vines. At the same time, they will be trapped for 2 seconds and be bitten by the snake's head. If you are bitten 3 times in a row, you will suffer poisonous stupor for 2 seconds. Vine Shield, the soaring serpent troll can command its vines to weave a web shield. The web shield can be used to resist any frontal attack until the shield is broken. Withered Soil, the soaring snake troll regards the parasitic beautiful host as the soil to nourish itself. It usually uses the essence and blood of a large number of men to support the heroine. When its own life is threatened, it will forcefully dig out its daily reserves. The energy in a beautiful woman's body can sustain her life. When the energy stored in a beautiful woman is emptied by it, the beautiful woman will completely die and wither. Whoosh! 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 Lin Xiao transformed into a wind spirit and jumped continuously to avoid being surrounded by the blood snake vines. Seeing the opportunity, Lin Xiao immediately started to fight back. Skyfire Crazy Dragon. Lin Xiao stabbed a fire dragon at Gasolanruo, but unexpectedly, an unprecedented heat wave suddenly surged in the cold underground palace. The soaring snake troll in Gasolanruo's body completely revived, and Gasolanruo's the back of the neck, back, buttocks, and thighs all had blood snake vines. Although Lin Xiao couldn't see Gasolanruo's back, he could imagine that although Gasolanruo was beautiful from the front, her back was. It must be disgusting. Hooray! Those newly born blood snake vines quickly weaved a net shield, blocking Lin Xiao's Skyfire Mad Dragon. Flash! Lin Xiao flashed back without hesitation, and sure enough, the blood snake vines from before were wrapped around him again. Lin Xiao did not look behind him. He relied entirely on experience to calculate the opponent's attack intentions and made accurate judgments. 100 steps flying sword, boom! Under the powerful attack of the lightsaber, the net shield of the soaring snake troll was torn apart. However, it is really rare to be able to withstand two heavy blows from Lin Xiao. It is worthy of being a golden boss. Blast of wind and shadow slash. The strong wind swept Gasolanruo, and Lin Xiao immediately took the flying slash without hesitation. Boom! HP-14500. HP-15090. Yishuian. HP-16400. Unknowingly, the entire underground palace was almost occupied by those blood snake vines. Lin Xiao was not a god after all, and it was impossible for him to find a way out from the intensive attacks without any gaps. In addition, the flash and the 100-step flying sword had already after handing it over, Lin Xiao had nothing to do, so he rushed towards the soaring snake troll without hesitation. Blade Assault. HP-16700. Even in desperate situations, you must do your best to consume your opponent's blood. This is the awareness that a top player must have. Immediately, several blood snake vines entangled Lin Xiao. Chi. 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 HP 2401. HP 2350. HP 2122. Because the more blood snake vines there are, the higher the damage done by the soaring snake troll. With 3 seamless attacks, Lin Xiao was almost killed in seconds. Although there was only residual blood left in the health bar, Lin Xiao still did not panic at all, as steady as an old dog, because everything was under his control, and the decisive moment came. Great destruction! Lin Xiao broke free from the restraints. Blood Pond Pill Talisman. Because it was residual blood, the blood recovery effect was extremely touching, and Lin Xiao's blood volume instantly returned to health. Punishing Pill Talisman. Soaring Snake Troll's HP -25,000. The shadow of the sword leaves a mark. Lin Xiao used the shadow of the sword to leave a shadow, leaving a phantom in the surrounding circle, while the main body fell outside the circle. Lin Xiao completed all 4 operations in less than 1 second. At this time, the blessing time of the glory killing has passed, but the blessing that is getting stronger and stronger has reached its climax. The holy light is coming. Body and phantom, attack together. Soaring Serpent Troll, HP 17200, ×2 Cross Evil Moon Slash. Slash the moon with your sword. Soaring Snake Troll, HP 17590, ×2 across all directions. Soaring Serpent Troll, HP 18620, ×2. Just when Lin Xiao was about to use a saturation attack to send the Soaring Snake Troll into hell, suddenly Gasolanruo's body suddenly bent, and several blood snake vines forced her down to the ground. A snake vine pinched her neck tighter and tighter. Her breathing was labored and her chest kept heaving. She suppressed her blush and desperately grabbed the snake vine. He, I have nourished you with so many men for 10 years, now it's time for you to repay me. A sinister voice sounded, and immediately, several bright red snake vines sprouted from Gasolanruo's lower abdomen. The snake vines bit Gasolanruo's blood vessels, and the soaring snake troll's blood volume began to increase. Blighted soil is a perverted skill, but it is very useful. As long as it can survive Lin Xiao's saturation attack and the time of Lin Xiao's sword shadow has passed, the final victory will belong to it. The terrifying snake head spat out black information, and Lin Xiao sighed silently for Gasolanruo. If he could, he really didn't want to kill her, because he knew that she was not a real evil spirit. In fact, she is the sister Shui that Suji has had a crush on since childhood. Thank you, Despair of Wheatfield, for sending me a small leather whip and inspiration capsule. Super Boss, long time no see, thank you very much. Thank you, Snow Cute Rabbit, Kimichan Jushu, for sending continuous rewards, thank you both boss. The boss is awesome. Chapter 94. Lin Xiao didn't know how many evil spirits and ghosts he had killed. Mortals at the lowest level were equal to food and nutrients in the eyes of evil spirits and ghosts. He had never seen any evil ghosts who were willing to be kind. Spare an ordinary mortal. The only explanation is that this Gasolanruo is actually Suji's sister Shui back then. Unfortunately, she has been parasitized by the soaring snake troll and has become a puppet host. She didn't want to ruin her good impression in Suji's heart, and she didn't want Suji to do something stupid if he knew the truth, so she deliberately denied her identity. Unfortunately, Suji was a stubborn person and didn't understand her. With his good intentions, he missed the life path that Gasolanruo had fought for him, and was eventually transformed into a sickly ghost by the soaring snake troll. Living in troubled times, low-level mortals like Gasolanruo and Suji have no control over their own destiny, and they cannot know each other even if they meet. Falling flowers are flying in the wind, and the separation and hatred are lingering. They are not wrong, but this troubled world has no room for the weak, and the tragedy of the two of them is doomed. The soaring snake troll's blood volume slowly increased. He wanted to withstand Lin Xiao's most violent combo attack, but Lin Xiao did not intend to let him get his wish. Lin Xiao said from the beginning that he wanted to help Gasolanruo escape. Since he has said it, he must do it. Skyfire Crazy Dragon. Soaring Serpent Troll, HP 19020, times 2 slash the moon with your sword. Soaring Serpent Troll, HP 19620, times 2 across all directions. King of the World. The King's Will of the Kingslayer blade has already been stacked up to 6 layers, but only now did Lin Xiao choose to add it to transverse all directions to cast, Great Destruction, Phantom Double Attack, Dominate the World, with a bonus of up to 80% of the more severe cuts. All the blessings were added up, pushing Lin Xiao's attack directly to the top. Soaring Serpent Troll, HP 32620, times 2 the amount of blood recovered by the Soaring Snake Troll is only 20,000. For ordinary players, it may take 2 more minutes to form a team, but under Lin Xiao's saturation critical hit, it can almost be ignored. The Soaring Snake Troll was also stunned by Lin Xiao's horrific injuries. He knew that even if he sucked Gasolanruo into being, he would never be able to survive it, so it finally chose to fight to the death himself. Hurrah! A snake-headed monster like a centipede and octopus emerged from Gasolanruo's body, and all the snake-headed vines rushed toward Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao smiled coldly. 100 steps flying sword. 2 lightsabers crossed through the body of the soaring snake troll. Chi! 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 More than 100 snakehead vines were all broken, and the body of the soaring snake troll suddenly collapsed and turned into a pool of blood. Ding! Kill the soaring snake troll, and gain plus 11 million experience points. Elementary Experience Talisman times 2, Magic Fairy Stone times 50, obtain the King's Divine Power Ring times 1, and Divine Cloak times 1, Privacy Reward, in addition to the 2 he got from killing the Lich King and the Cambrian Dragon before. Lin Xiao had already obtained 4 Elementary Experience Talisman tonight. After unlocking them, his level immediately rose to level 21. After replacing the King's Divine Power Ring, the basic attack increased by more than 200. At this time, there was only one necklace left from the last King's suit. Cloak of Invisibility? Lin Xiao's eyes lit up. Unexpectedly, after clearing the copy of Gasui City, he discovered such a treasure. You must know that in the previous life, the earliest cloak that appeared was a foreign hermit master player who first showed it when he was level 35. The cloak is a very special piece of equipment. Just like skin fashion, it does not belong to the ranks of basic equipment. It is also marked with the words Privacy Reward behind it, which means that no matter which list or system announcement it is, it does not belong to the basic equipment. It will show that Lin Xiao revealed this treasure. In addition to bringing additional attribute bonuses to the player, more importantly, it can hide the player's identity. As long as the player wears a cloak, it can cover the appearance of all the player's skin, change the player's weapon form, and skill special effects. Even the ID can be blocked. When other players click to view the attribute panel of the cloaked player, all panel information will be replaced by asterisks. It can be said that as long as you put on a cloak, no one will recognize you. What? What's the use of this? Of course it was useful, and it was of great use. In the later stages, Having a cloak for each person became the basic standard in the game. Because many special tasks cannot reveal their identity. For example, if a player is ordered by a lord to assassinate another lord, if the task fails, he will be hunted by the entire network. But if you have a cloak to hide your identity, then even if the mission fails, you will only lose one cloak at most and your identity will not be exposed. And Lin Xiao needs this treasure now, because in 2 days, he will go to Prince Andrei's hunting treasure trove to buy it for 0 yuan. This is a very risky thing, and robbers have to pay for robbing banks. You need to put on some stockings yourself, not to mention that what Lin Xiao is going to is a duke's treasury. Lin Xiao quickly checked the properties of the Shinian cloak. The cloak of invisibility, a necessary piece of equipment used to do bad things. No matter what bad things you do after putting it on, your identity will not be exposed. Level requirements, none. Grade, none. Ordinary blessing, all basic panel attributes plus 20%. Special note, when the cloak is equipped, all achievements obtained are automatically hidden and will not be announced to the whole server. Achievement points are also automatically hidden. Unless the player chooses to make them public, they will be displayed on the whole server and added to the major lists. Various achievements. It will be automatically burned upon death, and the player will be forcibly transported to a safe area before being burned. Primary cloak, all attributes plus 20%, this blessing is already very good. There was an extra cloak frame on Lin Xiao's equipment column, so Lin Xiao put the Shinian cloak on it. Whenever he wanted to use it in the future, he only needed to switch it with his mind. Lin Xiao looked at Gasolanruo again. At this time, she was as angry as a gossamer, and her life was like a candle in the wind, which could be annihilated at any time. Because the soaring snake troll had left her body was no longer covered by any snakes, vines, or flowers. Lin Xiao could see everything. Sure enough, in that indescribable place, a lotus flower was clearly printed on Lin Xiao's eyes. In eyes. Gasolanruo smiled miserably and said intermittently, "No, don't tell Su, the truth about the robbery, okay, okay." Su Ji's consciousness had always been locked on Lin Xiao. Su Ji already knew whether Lin Xiao told him or not, but Lin Xiao still replied, "Yeah, okay." Gasolanruo closed her eyes with satisfaction. She had been tortured by the soaring snake troll for so many years, and today, she was finally free. A burst of teleportation glare exploded, and Lin Xiao returned to the underworld palace of the Wheel of Reincarnation. He quickly looked towards the stage and saw that although the light of the underworld lantern was extremely weak, it had not been extinguished yet. Thank you -33948953110439113, 39138605, for the big gift package of likes. Thank you. Starting tomorrow, I will try to post a few of them together to see if everyone gets used to it. Chapter 95. The weak firefly light struggled tenaciously in the Hades Palace. It was not until Lin Xiao came back that it swayed slightly, and finally completely disappeared and turned into a wisp of blue smoke. The King of Wheels said in a deep voice, "I have never seen Yinghuo Shijuan able to sustain for such a long time. He has been waiting for you to come back. He helped you like this. It seems that he is very satisfied with the completion of your mission." Lin Xiao said calmly, "So, I won." The King of Rotation said, "Although I didn't intend for you to win, but, well, you did win." As soon as the King of Wheels finished speaking, Sister Hong cried with joy. She bet all her wealth and life on Lin Xiao, and Lin Xiao did not let her down. Lin Xiao completed the 20-level task of overcoming the tribulation, and his cultivation level was upgraded from Foundation Establishment to Lingxi. After that, he will officially start his journey to immortality. After he has passed through the second spirituality, higher cultivation, true enlightenment, and heavenly tribulation, he will usher in the sudden change of the blue salamander. Players who can successfully survive the tribulation will officially enter the kingdom of God and begin the journey of the divine journey. The journey of the divine journey is even more complicated. Instead of arranging a tribulation at the 10th level, it depends entirely on the player's own efforts, and all kinds of heavenly secrets and celestial beings can enhance one's divine level. After escaping the sudden change of the King Salamander, I just got a chance to survive temporarily. Above the kingdom of God, there is another world that is 10,000 times more dangerous. Death still follows me everywhere. Even if I ascend to the position of Lord God like Lin Xiao, there is still no chance. If you can escape the fate of falling into the altar, let alone other players." Lin Xiao's expression was calm. "What about my reward?" The rotating king handed over a card, I think this should be one of the gifts you most hope to get at this level. Lin Xiao took a look and revived the scorecard. Lin Xiao's eyes lit up. He was now level 21. Players over level 20 would begin to receive various penalties after death. As the level goes up, the intensity of the death penalty will become greater. In the beginning, it was just a deduction. With a little experience, equipment and achievement points will be deducted later, and the penalties will be stacked after consecutive deaths. In the end, the character level, cultivation level and even talent level will be deducted directly. In the early stage, resurrection scrolls of various levels can be used to reduce death losses, but later on, even advanced resurrection scrolls are of little use. It is not easy for players to upgrade their cultivation. If they can withstand this kind of punishment, if they die too many times, it is basically impossible to survive the change of the King Salamander, and then they are really going to die. But Lin Xiao's resurrection scorecard is different. Resurrection points card, from today until the player enters the Kingdom of God, each level can be resurrected once for free. Resurrection retains all player achievements, ensuring that the player does not suffer any losses. In addition, if the player dies less times, the player will be resurrected once when entering the Kingdom of God. You can also redeem your points for a special reward. The specific points redemption rules are as follows: deaths less than 10 times, get a bronze point reward. Deaths less than 5 times, get a silver point reward. Deaths less than 3 times, get a gold point reward. Die only once, get a diamond point reward. No death record, get a Kingdom of God gift package. Special note, when this card is shared with the resurrection scroll, it will enjoy priority. In addition, even if it is resurrected using the resurrection scroll, the number of deaths will still be recorded. The following remarks mean that if the player has a resurrection scroll in his backpack, the resurrection point card will be used first. Only when the number of resurrection point cards has been consumed can the resurrection scroll be used again. In addition, don't think that if you use the point card to revive once and use the resurrection scroll 10 times, the death record will only show 1, because even if you use the resurrection scroll, the number of deaths will still be counted, so the final death record is 11, and if you do it more than 10 times, you will be disqualified from receiving the prize. Lin Xiao's lips curled up. God's Kingdom gift package? I like it. Lin Xiao remembered very clearly that when he escaped the catastrophe of the apocalypse and fled into the Kingdom of God, everyone was like a refugee. The gods of the Kingdom of God basically didn't have a good look towards these untouchables who climbed up from the ground because of their strength. Too low, everyone looks down upon it. Some trash gods even take those beautiful players as their personal playthings. In order to survive, those beautiful players can only greet them with tears in their eyes. It is often heard that dozens of great and beautiful players are competing to serve a lowly person. Everyone is not surprised by the news about the garbage god. Beautiful players can obtain resources by selling their bodies, but the initial situation of male players like Lin Xiao and others is even more miserable. Whenever Lin Xiao thinks about the days when he first arrived in the Kingdom of God, he gnashes his teeth in hatred. If he can do it this time, if you have a gift package from the Kingdom of God to assist you, you will definitely no longer suffer the tortures you suffered in the past, and you will definitely be able to soar into the sky. What? King Rotation almost choked himself. You want a gift package from the Kingdom of God? Lin Xiao raised the corner of his mouth. Isn't it possible? Ha ha ha. Rotation King laughed. Young man, there is no way you can survive in the world without getting stabbed, especially for a master player like you. It is absolutely impossible for you not to die even once. Lin Xiao couldn't help but laugh and said, why don't I understand what you are saying? Why, must expert players die? The Wheel King said seriously, yes, the more top masters are, the easier it is to die. On the contrary, those little people who are not very outstanding can often survive to the end, don't you dare to say that. Lun Xuanwang's tone was meaningful, and there was something in his words. Lin Xiao was stunned. He took a deep breath and thought to himself. Soon, his eyes gave off a strange light. The words of Rotation King may sound like nonsense, but every word is true, because the more advanced the player, the more they have to stay ahead of others, and the future is unknown, and you don't know what kind of dangers there will be ahead. Waiting for you, so the adventurer at the front is often dozens or even hundreds of times more likely to die than those behind him. Lin Xiao still remembers the competition for the list in his last life. Almost every 10 levels, more than half of the top 50 gods on the list will be replaced, because they all died in front of everyone, and they fell to the ground. On the unknown road, the people behind them will continue to move forward on their bones, until they themselves become bones at the feet of future generations. The reason why Lin Xiao was able to avoid death in his last life was because he had always been hiding behind others. By learning the game experience and skills that others had spent their lives exploring, he was able to avoid all dangers. Even to be on the safe side, he was able to delay until after level 30, do the task of overcoming the tribulation at level 20. Although it will be difficult to get ahead, it is also very easy to live longer than others. But in this life, Lin Xiao is standing at the front. To be fair, so far, there have been at least 4 or 5 times where he has danced on the tip of a knife to achieve the final victory. Now he is only level 21, and he is still far away from the kingdom of God. Really, can he really guarantee that he will win every time? Lin Xiao took a deep breath. It wasn't because he was worried about whether he would die, but because he suddenly remembered a rumor. Thanks to -223380044, Ancient Tiandao, Miyake and Braised Pork, Heart, Ali Tawang, for the likes gift package. Thanks to Zishan for the reminder gift package, thank you Lao Tai. Thanks to -41997506 for the gift package, thank you very much for the likes and inspiration capsule gift package. The boss is very generous. Chapter 96. Speaking of which, Lin Xiao himself spread the rumor. That was when Lin Xiao first entered the kingdom of God. By chance, he met an inferior god. Although that inferior god was down and out, after getting along for a while, Lin Xiao was surprised to find that he was actually a super god with unfathomable strength. Gods. He once told Lin Xiao that even the gods, and even the Holy Spirit before the catastrophe of the Dark Night, were not immortal. However, according to his calculations, he predicted that in the near future, there will be 13 people in this world who can truly an immortal strongman who is immortal and breaks through all the laws of space and time. And among these 13 people, one of them is not a god from the kingdom of God, but a very inconspicuous person on the Holy Light continent. He didn't tell Lin Xiao who the 13 people were, and Lin Xiao didn't quite believe his prediction at the time, so he told it to his friends as an entertainment joke, and finally it spread like this. But now that he saw the King of Wheels, he believed it a little bit. The King of Wheels asked Lin Xiao just now in a questioning tone. He seemed to know that in Lin Xiao's previous life, he had struggled all the way from an unknown person to finally succeeding in becoming a leader. If this is true, then he must be one of the 13 immortal strong men who can break through all rules of space and time, as the inferior god said. Lin Xiao quickly checked the background information about the King of Wheels. The King of Reincarnation, a hermit in the night who has experienced countless reincarnations. This is the entire introduction to his background in the game, which is brief and incomprehensible. Basically no one cared about this introduction, and Lin Xiao was no exception. But now, Lin Xiao seems to understand. It turns out that in the previous life, he was not the only one who reincarnated, and the reincarnation king in front of him also reincarnated. Seeing Lin Xiao's expression, the rotation king immediately smiled again. Young man, why don't we make a bet again? Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, how do you want to bet? The King of Wheels said, I will give you 3 chances to eliminate the death record, but it will not be eliminated unconditionally. Lin Xiao said, can you be more specific? Rotation King said, the specific point is that every time you use the resurrection scorecard to resurrect, you can immediately restore 70% of your health. However, after resurrecting, you must be able to kill the enemy immediately, so that the death record can be eliminated. If you fight back, choose to escape, or die in the hands of the enemy again, your resurrection scorecard will disappear on the spot. How about that? In this way, Lin Xiao has 3 chances to die, but this chance must be based on killing the enemy, and even so, he only has 3 chances at most. After 3 times, he can no longer die, otherwise, and you can't get any rewards at all. If Lin Xiao wants to be safer, as long as he doesn't gamble, the gold and silver rewards should be absolutely no problem. After all, there is no need to kill the boss, or he can run away after resurrecting. To be on the safe side, don't fight bosses that are life-threatening, and don't accept missions that are life-threatening. If you go to the kingdom of God as an ordinary person in your previous life, you might not die even once. But how can the eagle that has already flown into the sky be content with being ordinary? So, Lin Xiao's choice was, okay, I'll take this bet. The Wheel King chuckled, okay. As expected of Jian Yu, I have made you a friend. Don't worry, I will definitely have some benefits for you in the future, as long as you have the strength to take those benefits from me. Soon, the news that Lin Xiao won a resurrection point card from the Rotation King spread throughout the server. The news was deliberately released by the Rotation King. Of course, he did not make the bet with Lin Xiao public. The players were all shocked. The resurrection point card can be resurrected dozens of times for free without any loss. This condition in itself is enough to make everyone tempted, not to mention, there are such attractive point rewards. Many big shots have already started secret plans. Everything is the same as in the previous life. I don't know how many beauties will become victims of sacrifices. Lin Xiao doesn't want to stop it, but he can't stop it, because, in the eyes of those big shots, the beautiful woman who was sacrificed meant nothing to them, getting the gift package was the most important thing. Therefore, even if Lin Xiao told them that they could not succeed in the mission of the Wheel King, they would not hesitate to sacrifice those beauties and go for a bloody fight. In addition, the King of Wheels also needs a large number of beauties to sacrifice, destroying people's wealth, just like killing their parents. If Lin Xiao really ruins the good things of the King of Wheels for those who have never met him, then this friend he just made will be we must make friends immediately. Lin Xiao also hopes that everyone will be like a dragon and live forever, but such a fairy tale world does not exist. Lin Xiao said to himself, it turns out that the eternally powerful person really does exist, but I don't know if there is a place for me among those 13 people. Lin Xiao took Sister Hong back to Fengxiang Tower. Sister Hong used her own life to let Lin Xiao win a bet, so Lin Xiao would not treat her badly. He entrusted Sister Hong to Mo Yuntian, who helped her lift the talent seal imposed on her by Prince Andrei. But Mo Yuntian only restored her to the A-level talent. If she wants to return to the previous SSS level, it depends on how much contribution she can make for Mo Yuntian. Lin Xiao returned to Yacrying Island. Now that he has completed the level 20 task of overcoming the tribulation, he can receive the Night King gift pack. At the same time, the level has reached the 21st level, and 30 soul low points have been accumulated, and another soul lottery can be held. Ding! Congratulations on getting the Lingxi Night King gift pack. Ding! You have unlocked the Lingxi Night King gift pack and obtained the Intermediate Alchemy Sutra. Reward level +1. Lin Xiao currently only has the primary alchemy, and can only make ordinary blood pool alchemy and punishment alchemy. Although these two are enough for now, they may be a little difficult to handle in the future. Now that he has the intermediate alchemy scripture, Lin Xiao can just buy some hard goods just in case before going to the hunting treasure house to buy them for 0 yuan the day after tomorrow. In addition to the intermediate alchemy, the unlocking gift package also directly gave Lin Xiao a level 1. With the upgrade special effects ignited, Lin Xiao's level reached level 22. Afterwards, Lin Xiao opened the Hun Luo lottery panel again, and there were 12 treasure boxes. The pointer started to rotate rapidly, and finally stopped at the treasure box number 12. Ding! Congratulations on winning the skill book, God Descends to Earth. God Descends to Earth, gain short-term super long sight range. You can mark any location or enemy or teammate within a kilometer range as your landing location. If you mark a location, the location will appear 1 second before landing. Warning: if the enemy fails to escape the landing site in time, he will be knocked away by the gods and suffer huge damage. If the marked enemy is an enemy, then the enemy will not be able to escape the attack of the gods, and all enemies within 30 meters around him will be brutally attacked by the gods. If you mark a teammate, you will brutally attack everyone around you except your teammates. Cooling time, 60 seconds. The skill bar needs to be chanted for 3 seconds to cast the skill, and the chanting can be interrupted. The author has something to say. Thank you -2348197 ABBA, Orange, 91441390 for the gift rewards. Thank you all for your support. Please explain why the update is so late, because I was watching the LOL game just now, and I really didn't expect that they would play 5 rounds. I feel so guilty, and I will definitely not do it tomorrow. Chapter 97. This is a super cool skill that can provide quick support and long-range strikes. The only thing to note is that the casting action takes too long and requires a 3-second skill bar. Therefore, you must cast it in an unmanned position, otherwise it will be interrupted. From now on, it will automatically enter the cooling CD. Although Lin Xiao has the maximum cooling reduction, he still has to wait for another 30 seconds. After this draw, the next soul lottery draw would cost 35 soul lottery points. Lin Xiao closed the lottery interface and exited the game. Lin Xiao woke up from the broken sofa, turned on the electric kettle, boiled some water, and made a bowl of instant noodles for a midnight snack. Although he is already a rich man with a net worth of tens of millions, Lin Xiao's life has not changed much. Alas, the life of a rich person is so simple and boring. At this moment, his cell phone rang. It was Zhao Hongli calling. Is something wrong? Lin Xiao said calmly. Yes, congratulations to the master, you have successfully overcome the tribulation, and I would like to give you a gift of points cards. Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, speak directly if you have anything to say, don't waste time. Zhao Hongli knew Lin Xiao's temper, so he didn't dare to talk about him anymore. Well, A Hong's talent has been restored to A level. Master, can you help me too? Lin Xiao interrupted Zhao Hongli in a deep voice, she has proven her worth to me, and this is the reward she deserves. What about you? Have you proven your worth to me? Zhao Hongli said hurriedly, yes, that's what the great god said. Don't worry, great god, I am also a person who knows the rules very well. I will definitely not speak carelessly to you, the great god. I just ask God to give me a chance and let me prove my worth to you. As long as God gives me a chance, I will definitely take advantage of it and will never let you down. Lin Xiao said, it's best if you have this awareness. I will definitely give you the opportunity. The treasure hunting activity the day after tomorrow is the best opportunity for you to perform. If you can seize the opportunity, I can also give you the opportunity. Recommend it to the third princess and work for her in the future. The third princess is a heroic woman with great ambitions. Following her is infinitely better than following your low-class Prince Andrei. You are a smart person and you should know how to choose, right? When he heard that he could hang out with the third princess, Zhao Hongli was so excited that Qin Hao's legs on the operating bed turned red. Qin Hao, whose face was wrapped in gauze, couldn't help but groan in pain. After Qin Hao completed the first stage of surgery, she is now undergoing the second stage of plastic surgery. Due to the surgery, her vocal tract has changed, and she sounds a bit internal. Zhao Hongli told the doctor that money is not an issue and she must be made as beautiful as possible. Zhao Hongli seldom kept his word to others, but he kept his word to Qin Hao. If I say I'll make you cry, I'll make you cry. Lin Xiao said, I'm covering Sister Hong now, please let her go now. Of course Zhao Hongli didn't dare to disobey Lin Xiao's words, so he immediately had Sister Hong released from the dark room and gave her freedom. Lin Xiao added, by the way, that Qin Hao is also in your hands now. Zhao Hongli was stunned, why, master, are you also interested in him? Lin Xiao said coldly, fart, I just think that sometimes you don't have to be too extreme when doing things, it's almost enough, you know what I mean. Zhao Hongli wondered, but now that he has been cut by me, I will definitely not be able to take him back. Is it really okay to throw him out like this? Lin Xiao was stunned for a moment, he really hadn't thought about this. Finally, Lin Xiao said, then you should let him go after the operation is completed. Since this is the case, let's try to make him look prettier. Now that the matter has come to this, for Qin Hao, this can only be the best result. Zhao Hongli quickly agreed, and then the medical team began to perform full body hair removal and skin rejuvenation surgery on Qin Hao. Qin Hao gritted his teeth and swore secretly that he could not die. I must not die. I want to be the most beautiful woman in the world. I must make a comeback. Zhao Hongli, Jian Yu, today you have deprived me of my dignity and happiness as a man. In the future, I will definitely use a woman's method to get it back from you. The next day, after Lin Xiao logged into the game, he went directly to the Huishun Hall in True Dragon City. This was a pharmacy. The owner of the pharmacy was Jing Yiming, a third-level pharmacist NPC. Many players buy various medicines from him because the medicines he offers are much more high-end than those from other pharmacists, such as mid-level blood bottles, which can instantly restore 1000 health points at a time. This is naturally incomparable with Lin Xiao's blood pool pill talisman, but for ordinary players, being able to instantly restore 1000 blood points at critical moments is already quite an amazing effect. It's just that Jing Yiming has a bad temper. Every player who comes to buy things from him is taught like a grandson by him. Before Lin Xiao entered the store, he heard Jing Yiming's roar coming from inside. What do you want? Say it quickly. You actually still think about it when I ask you, get out of here. Next one. Hello, pharmacist, please give me 10 intermediate blood bottles. Get lost. 10 bottles won't be sold. Rubbish that can't even afford 100 bottles will not be allowed in the door again. Next one. Hello, Please give me 100 intermediate blood bottles. The intermediate blood bottles have been sold out today. There is not one bottle left. Get out of here. Next one. Seeing those players being treated like fools by Jing Yiming, Lin Xiao shook his head speechlessly and walked in. Seeing the arrival of the legendary great god Jian Yu, the originally bustling players instantly became quiet. Lin Xiao came to the counter and Jing Yiming said coldly, "Just tell me what you want, hurry up and don't disturb my business." Although Jing Yiming is just a pharmacist, he is an NPC with a very temperamental temper. In his heart, even if Jian Yu is cheating, he is just a player. Players must maintain absolute respect in front of the NPC. The fact that he can talk to Lin Xiao with this attitude now is already giving Lin Xiao face. The other players were all afraid of Jing Yiming, but Lin Xiao couldn't get used to his bad temper. Lin Xiao smiled coldly, "It's easy, I want Shui Fengzi and Golden Jiao eyes." Jing Yiming's eyes widened, "What are you talking about? I think there is something wrong with your brain. Do you know how precious these two materials are?" Lin Xiao sneered, "I know, Shui Fengzi has to kill the nine-winged blood dragon to have a chance to explode, and Jin Jiaomo needs to kill the golden horned ghost dragon to explode. I have no problem killing these two bosses, but it only appears every 3 days. I can't wait any longer. I need to use it tomorrow, so I can only borrow it from you. If you have any requirements, just ask me directly." Jing Yiming sneered and said, "Jian Yu, I have heard your name, but others are afraid of you, but I am not afraid. I am not Xin Yuku, I just won't give you this face, so what?" Chapter 98. Lin Xiao said coldly, "Don't give me face? Well, then I don't have to give you face. I'm in a bad mood today. I want to kill a few evil bosses to sacrifice to heaven. There is a flower stamen demon girl in the quiet little house. I heard he looks pretty good. Those evil spirits and strange ghosts will use any means to deal with our women. I, Jian Yu, am not a saint, so I don't mind being shameless today and treating others in their own way." Jing Yiming's expression suddenly changed. Lin Xiao's words immediately caught his attention, because the relationship between the Huali enchantress and him was extraordinary. She was his biological daughter. No one else knew this secret, but Lin Xiao knew it. Back then, Jing Yiming was a royal pharmacist at the Santa Casia Senate. One day, the Senate sent a poisonous love butterfly demon to him to refine medicine. According to the plan, he was going to dissect the poisonous love butterfly demon, but it turned out that after spending a few days with the poisonous love butterfly demon, he became distracted. "I couldn't control myself anymore, and ended up spending 3 crazy days and nights in the alchemy room with the poisonous butterfly demon. It is said that during those crazy 3 days and 3 nights, he consumed all the bottles of strong whip strengthening pills that he had concocted. Later, his affair with the poisonous butterfly demon was exposed. He risked his life to let the poisonous butterfly demon go, and he himself was almost executed on charges of collaborating with the enemy. Later, he was kicked out of the Senate and came to True Dragon City. More than 10 years later, the poisonous butterfly demon secretly found him, and he learned that he had a daughter. Not many people knew this secret. Only a few of Jing Yiming's friends knew about it. Jing Yiming really couldn't figure out how Lin Xiao knew about it. However, in front of so many people, Jing Yiming certainly couldn't give in. He deliberately sneered, "Jian Yu, I know you are very capable, but I advise you not to be too arrogant. That Huarui you can't afford to offend the enchantress. Young man, don't be too angry. You just said you wanted Suifengzi and Jinjiamu, right? If you are willing to talk to me now and have a better attitude, maybe I can consider exchanging with you, but my asking price will be very high, so you'd better be mentally prepared." This Jing Yiming had lost his own future and kept taking it out on the players. Lin Xiao remembered clearly that in his last life, he was just like these ordinary players in front of him. Every time he came to ask for medicine, he was scolded by him. Rolling around. The most egregious time was when Lin Xiao came to buy medicine, his dog bit his trouser leg and refused to let go. Lin Xiao had no choice but to kick the dog away. As a result, he asked Lin Xiao to give him the medicine in public. The dog knelt down to apologize and had to call his dog daddy before he would sell medicine to Lin Xiao. Although Lin Xiao was as humble as an ant at that time, how could a real man be subjected to such a shame and humiliation when he was born? He immediately killed his dog with a knife and never came back again. Although he did not have all kinds of magical potions to calm his life, Lin Xiao almost lost his life several times, but Lin Xiao did not regret it at all. If even the bottom line of dignity is lost, what value does life have? Today, Lin Xiao came here to deliberately cause trouble, but Jing Yiming actually dared to show off to him. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Lin Xiao provoked, I'm sorry, my attitude towards you just now was good enough. Now it can't be better, it can only be worse. You want to ask me for a high price? I just want to have free prostitution now. Let me tell you, if you don't give me Shui Fengzi and Golden Jiao by now, I will commit to the Flower Pistol Enchantress today. Jing Yiming gritted his teeth and said, okay, since you insist on going to die, then I won't stop you, just go if you have the guts. I can tell you very responsibly, if you really dare to go today, then you will not, the myth of defeat will be shattered today. Lin Xiao snorted coldly, I'm sorry, just that Flower Stamen Enchantress is not qualified to challenge my record. After saying that, Lin Xiao walked away. Jing Yiming gritted his teeth and snorted coldly. At the same time, a hateful and poisonous smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. The other players were all stunned. Soon, the news that Lin Xiao had a falling out with Jing Yiming in public spread throughout the server. The Melon Eaters were shocked. In Prince Andrei's mansion, a group of hermit players are soaking in the experience pool, comfortably enjoying the blessing of experience. Hermit players have various benefits, and hermit players under Prince Andrei can enjoy 2 hours of experience pool time every day. They don't need to fight monsters hard, they just need to soak in the hot spring pool to continuously gain experience. At the same time, there are many young beauties in the Duke's palace who are dedicated to serving them. The appearance of these beauties is not inferior to that of celebrities and internet celebrities, and their skills are more professional than those gold medal beauty technicians in the foot washing city. While enjoying the close-fitting push of the beautiful woman, a wild player moved his hands up and down the softest part of the beautiful woman's body in a dishonest manner. Hey, have you heard that Jian Yu got angry again today and started scolding NPCs in public? Damn, this is the first time I have seen someone dare to talk to Jing Yiming like this. This Jian Yu is really not an ordinary person. Ah! Another mage player said, come on, this is not called having talent, this is called sand sculpture. Jian Yu will suffer a big loss this time. Believe me, I have exact inside information. After today, Jian Yu will officially step down. The altar. The crazy player said, come on, people have been saying that Jian Yu is not good all day long. After talking for so many days, he is still dominating the major rankings. When have you so-called insider information ever been accurate? The mage player said, really, you really have to believe me this time. I accidentally heard this inside information from Duke Andrei yesterday. If Jian Yu really goes to find the Flower Pistol Enchantress, he will definitely fail. Why? All the players stopped moping and asked together. The mage player said proudly, because, that Flower Stamen Demon Girl is Jing Yiming's daughter. Although she is just a golden boss, she has many hidden elixirs given to her by Jing Yiming. These will not be listed in the attributes displayed in the list. You all should know Jing Yiming's ability to refine elixirs and talismans. What he gave to his daughter must be hundreds of times better than what he sells. There is a golden boss and so many hidden talismans. Do you think Jian Yu might have a chance of winning? Ha ha ha. It makes sense. It makes sense. Damn, it's such a pity. Jian Yu is about to fall before I officially come out. It's really a bit boring, that's right, Wan Li Changjiun is just a dog of our Duke Andrei's palace. Jian Yu defeated his invincible guild a few days ago and went crazy. If the Duke hadn't allowed us to do it, I would have done it long ago. Go kill him. Hey, we are all super powerful players, but we can't stand out openly and openly. It's quite unacceptable to let that guy Jian Yu stand in the limelight all day long. At this moment, a silent swordsman player who had been sitting in the corner of the experience pool said, with all due respect, even if Jian Yu loses today, none of you can be his opponent. The ID above his head only has 2 words: knife handkerchief. He said what Lin Xiao said, one of the top 10 stranger kings in the future. Chapter 99. At this moment, Zhao Hongli also came to the experience pool, and happened to hear everyone's conversation. As soon as Daopa's words came out, all the players were unhappy together. Hey, Daopa, what do you mean? Is there anyone like you who would harm the face of your brothers? Daopa said coldly, I'm just telling the truth. If it hurts your face, then let it be hurt. You. Humph. Daopa, don't just say everything because you are the Duke's confidant. Let me ask you, you said that even if Jian Yu stumbles this time, we are not his opponents. Do you think that's it? Dao Pa said, I can't disobey the Duke's order and fight with others privately, but if you can convince Jian Yu and let him come to the Duke's mansion, then you will know whether I am qualified to be Jian Yu's opponent. Come on, that's really nice to say. You know that even if you lend Jian Yu 10 courages, he wouldn't dare to come to the Duke's mansion. That's why you said that deliberately and pretended to be clever, right? Don't think that you are the only one who can do this trick, I can do it too. If Jian Yu dares to kill the Duke's mansion, I promise to shoot his 2 dog eyes out on the spot. How about that? He doesn't dare to come anyway. If you can pretend this, I can too. I can pretend. Zhao Hongli, who had been at the door, couldn't help but laugh out loud. Only then did everyone realize that a stranger had entered the experience pool. In fact, they can't be considered strangers. Because, although Zhao Hongli was just an errand boy under Duke André and could not be compared with their higher-level confidants, so they had never met each other, but since Zhao Hongli acted privately and was taught by Lin Xiao, they all I heard about Zhao Hongli's ID thousands of miles of clouds. You are AFG dog of a defeated army. When our bosses gather to talk, you little brat laughs at you. Wait. This is a welfare experience pool specially prepared by Prince André for us elite subordinates. Garbage and dogs are not allowed to enter. Who let you in? The face of our Duke's palace has been completely trashed by you, how come you still have the nerve to enjoy the benefits of our Duke's palace? Get out of here, get out quickly, otherwise, if a dog comes in, we don't mind closing the door. Dog beater. Zhao Hongli suddenly became angry, but after thinking about it, he still held it back. He said coldly, hey, don't be so mean. I got a welfare card, so I came here. As he said that, Zhao Hongli took out a welfare card. However, everyone burst into laughter when they looked at his welfare card. I'm sorry, we don't want to soak in the same pool with garbage. If you don't mind the trouble, you can wait until we are all done soaking before you come in and drink our foot-washing water. If you dare to come in now, don't blame us for being ruthless. Got it? Of course Prince André would not take an abandoned son like Zhao Hongli to heart. Even if he was beaten now, he deserved it. Zhao Hongli was so angry that he gritted his teeth, but there was nothing he could do. However, he immediately raised his eyebrows and said provocatively, it's pointless to pretend to be someone behind the scenes. Since you are all big guys, you should act openly and openly. Hey, what do you mean? Zhao Hongli sneered and said, since you all said that as long as Jian Yu dares to come, you can kill Jian Yu indiscriminately. By coincidence, I just happened to get a fight invitation. How about I make a public fight for you? With that said, Zhao Hongli took out a battle sticker. Battle post, the battle can be made public in all channels. Both parties can write down their own battle requirements on the post. If both parties have no objections, the battle will officially take effect. After the battle takes effect, either party will not fulfill the challenge. If you make an agreement, you will automatically be sentenced to failure. Unless the winner chooses to forgive the loser, otherwise, the loser will be punished according to the pre-war agreement between the two parties. Unexpectedly, Zhao Hongli actually obtained this kind of prop. This was something that even the bosses did not expect. Zhao Hongli didn't waste any time and directly unlocked the battle post. Immediately, a message box popped up on the game interface of all players in Santa Cassia. Player Wan Li Changjiun has unlocked the appointment post and is now waiting for confirmation from both parties. Interested players can click to go to the live broadcast room to watch the signing details of both parties. The players immediately became interested. Are fights so formal now? Are there even special posts for fights, and are there live broadcasts of signings on all channels? Damn it! It turns out that the Great Sword Feather is asking someone to fight. No wonder there is such a big and famous scene. What? Master Jian Yu! You must support me! Players clicked into the live broadcast room, and there was only a decisive battle convention in the live broadcast room. At the beginning of the middle of the paper, there are 4 big words decisive battle convention written in big words. Below are 2 columns, blue and red. On the blue square column, there are 9 IDs, namely, Dao Pa, Yao Naihi, Kenyan Unique Skill Brother, Sun Gan Musa, Ida Athlete's Foot, U11, Yu Gary, No One, and Qingwo Gang. There are shadows at door-to-door meetings, and there is no emotion at all when there is no mention of trousers. There is only one ID in the red square column, and that is, Jian Yu. There are 10 IDs in total, all of them are grey at this time. Further down, there is the time and location of the decisive battle. The decisive battle is scheduled for 10 o'clock tomorrow night. The venue for the decisive battle was arranged at Prince Andrei's palace. The system has sent a signing invitation to both parties, and both parties have 60 seconds to consider whether to sign. Special reminder, after system testing, the 9 people on the blue side are all private soldiers of Prince Andrei's palace. The decisive battle location is the blue side's stronghold. Therefore, the red side is given 3 minutes to consider. Please consider carefully before making a decision. Whether to sign a contract. The whole network exploded. No way. 9 against 1, you still have to stay at home and let others come to your door. You rubbish from the Duke's palace, why don't you make a pouty face? In the experience pool, everyone including Yana and I all had livid faces. Zhao Hungli's move caught them off guard. For a moment, they were also a little off guard. To sign or not to sign, that is the question. Yana said, don't be anxious, Jian Yu hasn't signed it yet, why should we be anxious? I don't believe he really dares to sign it. Lin Xiao had arrived at Yuyuziajuo and was about to start the battle. Suddenly, his message box popped up. Lin Xiao frowned and clicked on it. It turned out that the system reminded him that he had been asked to fight, and now he was asked to fight. Decide whether to sign a contract. Just when Lin Xiao was in a daze, news from Zhao Hungli came and he explained the cause and effect to him. Lin Xiao smiled coldly, and then clicked his ID on the convention. Immediately, Lin Xiao's ID changed from grey to red. What a fraud! Jian Yu is indeed Jian Yu. He comes to your door without any thought and just signs it. Hey! Those 9 rubbish from Prince Andrei's mansion, Master Jian Yu has decided to come and mess with you. What do you say? No, don't you dare to challenge me when you go alone to a meeting? Are all the dogs in your Duke's palace so worthless? Yana and I were all dumbfounded. Jian Yu signed. Jian Yu actually signed. Knowing that the venue for the decisive battle was Prince Andrei's palace, he actually dared to sign the contract. Thanks to Cube Man, Zhou King, 61308783, Wu Qi, Xiaoxian, 17148592, How to Play, and the gift support. Thank you bosses. Thanks to Bye Bye for the reminder. Thanks to Pseudo Love for the inspiration. Capsule plus mountain climbing combination gift. The boss is cheating. Chapter 100. The Kenyon's unique skill brother said, what should I do? Jian Yu has already signed it, should we sign it? Yana, why am I still thinking about it? Dao Pa sneered, I really don't know what you are thinking in your mind. Do you still need to consider the problem of no choice? Others have already come to the door with their knives, do you think you still have a way out? As soon as he finished speaking, Dao Pei's ID turned blue at the decisive battle convention. When Lin Xiao saw it, the corner of his mouth raised, you are indeed the king of passers-by, I like it. Before Lin Xiao reached the summit, the top 10 passer-by kings formed a team to go to the secret realm of Som, but they never came back and had no chance to fight against the top 10 recognized passer-by kings. This was Lin Xiao's biggest regret in his previous life. This regret has also become the reason for many trolls to troll him. In the eyes of those trolls, if the top 10 passer-by kings are still there, then little shrimps like Lin Xiao will never have a chance to reach the top. In this life, Lin Xiao will never leave such talk to anyone again. As soon as the handkerchief was signed, Yana, I, and others also lit up their IDs one after another. Both sides of the decisive battle have been confirmed. Please write down your own bets for the decisive battle. If you regret it at this time, you can enjoy half the benefits of surrendering and losing, and only deduct the level 3. Otherwise, when the winner is determined, the system will strictly follow the bets of both parties. Please consider the punishment carefully. Yana gritted his teeth and said, damn it, let's just write that whoever loses will be deducted 10 levels. In addition, all the equipment will be exploded, and half of my skills and talents will be lost. Everyone was stunned. The Kenyon's unique skill brother trembled, brother, you are out of your mind. Can you afford this kind of bet? Others also expressed their disapproval, but what can I say, Yana, we can't afford to gamble, how can Jian Yu afford it? Whoever gives in now loses, do you understand? The others thought about it for a while and nodded in agreement, but just when they were about to write down their bets to scare off Lin Xiao had already submitted his bet in advance. Whoever loses will quit the game. The whole server was completely shocked. Daopa stared at these 5 words for a long time, then smiled slightly. It is indeed Jian Yu, I like it. Let me tell you, Master Jian Yu has gone too far this time. He has directly bet his entire gaming career on it. I'm on top, I'm on top. There's no decisive battle in this world where you can win without losing. Jian Yu is really on top this time. What do you know? This is called an intimidation tactic. Jian Yu wants to directly scare away those people from the Duke's palace. Originally, I thought Jian Yu had a good chance of winning, but now I can make a bold prediction. He actually has no confidence. That's why we have to use this kind of intimidation tactic. Brother, your analysis is very reasonable. If I were from the Duke's palace, I would accept this bet without hesitation, because as long as I accept this bet, there will be no swords after tomorrow. Feather. Of course those who watch the excitement can move their mouths and say whatever they like, but people like me, A&A, are not as relaxed as they say. Whether to gamble to the end or surrender and lose half, everyone's choice is different. Until Daopa said, if the Duke knows that you have chosen to surrender and lose half of it, what do you think the Duke will do to you? Everyone suddenly woke up. Isn't the Zhao Hongli in front of them a living example? If he loses the face of the Duke's palace, he can only wait and die. Since there is no choice, it is a good choice, so everyone on the blue side agreed to Jian Yu's bet. The bet officially comes into effect. At 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Jian Yu must come to the house for a decisive battle. According to the bet agreed upon by both parties, the loser will be forced to leave the game by the system. This desperate gamble of going straight to quitting the game has aroused the interest of players all over the server and even around the world before the game even starts. However, Lin Xiao seemed to have nothing to do with him. After signing the contract, he strode directly into Yuyu. This is a manor built by the lake. The scenery is very pleasant, but no one dares to approach it because there is a golden boss, the flower witch, living here. As soon as he entered the manor, Lin Xiao met a group of flower demon maids. They were all enhanced wild monsters. Lin Xiao didn't talk nonsense to them at all. Blast of wind and shadow slash. 100 steps flying sword. Skyfire crazy dragon. Following the ecstatic moans, the flower demon maids died one after another. Lin Xiao fought from the front yard to the backyard, and finally arrived at the bamboo house by the lake. It was a very quiet elegant residence, surrounded by all kinds of exotic flowers and plants, and even the bamboo fence was covered with all kinds of green plants. Vine flower seedlings. Lin Xiao stood still in the courtyard. At this moment, a faint and charming voice came from the bamboo building. The moment Your Excellency came in, he started killing without saying a word. It is too unreasonable. Lin Xiao's lips curled up. Whoever stands in my way will die, that's the truth. Anyone who stands in my way will die. Great God, Jian Yu is really crazy. Although so many of his own people were killed, the voice inside didn't seem angry. I know that you just broke up with my father, but you are really wrong about one thing. My father is just a pharmacist. As long as you don't ask for his medicine, then you really don't have to give him face. But I am different. If you dare not give me face, you will die. As soon as the words inside finished, Lin Xiao suddenly swiped his sword horizontally. Fearless wind wall. Moreover, he suddenly turned around and swept behind him. Hooray! I saw that the various green vines originally climbing on the bamboo fence had spread behind Lin Xiao unknowingly, but just when they were about to attack Lin Xiao, the wind wall suddenly rose and bounced them all back. The sound inside just now was deliberately attracting Lin Xiao's attention. If Lin Xiao was delayed for half a second, he would be entangled to death by more than a dozen ivy vines. There was a sound of surprise inside, and she couldn't figure it out. Lin Xiao didn't even see her face. How did he know that she could control flowers and plants to attack the enemy? Finally, Warui Enchantress walked out of her elegant bamboo house, because she knew that she had finally waited for a master worthy of her appearance. She was barefoot and wearing the most original and pure white gauze. She seemed to be an elf of nature. She was born in the forest and died in the forest. Except for the white gauze on her body, there was nothing worldly about her body. Something. The flower stamen fairy smiled and said, I know that just yesterday, you killed the soaring snake troll, so now you must be thinking that killing me is definitely not a problem. Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, killing you is indeed something without any challenge. I know you must be dissatisfied, but this is the fact. But you are lucky. I don't have to kill you today. Ha ha ha. The flower stamen demon girl laughed so hard that her branches trembled. But, what if I have to kill you? Lin Xiao said in a deep voice, then you have to die.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.